Good evening, everyone. This is Chris on IMTN Worldwide Radio, and this is around the ATL Side Notes. We're going to be talking OKC versus the Atlanta Hawks, Game 3 of the 2024 season. This is a rare 10 o'clock show. Believe it or not, this was actually our original show time when we were regular over the last few years. We started in 2018. So it's kind of strange to be doing this show tonight. Usually I would be telling you the phone number of call-in caller sign, but this is not a call-in show tonight. I was going to try to do it, but I was like, it's too late. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Let me do my promos real quick. Of course, thanks for everybody who might be watching either live or after the fact on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm on Instagram Live right now, so appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe to the IMTN Worldwide Radio YouTube channel. Make sure you follow on Facebook or Instagram under IMTN Worldwide Radio. You can follow me on Twitter, Intellect ATL, and my co-host Jordan Jackson, Jordan 23 ATL. Make sure, again, you keep your thoughts and prayers in mind with Jordan as he helps his mom as she battles cancer currently. Also, our sponsor for tonight, if you know somebody who needs some comfortable transportation, either in the city of Atlanta or out of state, they'll take you everywhere. Southern Classic Transportation is who you need to talk to. Dennis is his name, 404-291-0150. Make sure you let them know that Around the ATL sent you. Be sure to do that. And of course, I got to do my own self-plug. Make sure if you know somebody who needs some photos, right there on the bottom, imtnworldwideimages.com. If you need a little hint on what I can do, here's a little something, something for you. And here's another little something, something, something for you. That was actually from my Twin Peaks photo shoot earlier in the year, which was pretty cool. They gave me a meal too. That was cool. So I actually do see my guest for tonight. He is somebody who has a long-standing, let's see, how can I say, affair with Atlanta sports. Particularly the Atlanta Hawks and the Atlanta Falcons. I've known him for quite a few years now. He's a real upstanding young man. I'm gonna give him that one tonight. His name is John Harris. Let's go ahead and bring him into the show. John, how you doing, sir?
Pretty good, sir. Thank you for that introduction. I am humbled.
No problem at all. Gotta do it. We hadn't talked in a while, so I'm glad to have a chance to speak with you. And I was telling the audience earlier, this is actually my original start time for the show and day. So it's kind of eerie. I didn't think about it until I was literally coming on the air. It's Tuesday night and 10 o'clock. I was like, oh man, it's like old times all of a sudden. So I'm excited for tonight. So I do need to do this. So tonight we're talking, like I said, we're talking some OKC. I'm trying to find the banner for it just to let people know what we're doing tonight. There it is, OKC Game 3 of the 2024 season. So that's what we're talking about. I do need to say this as a reminder, including the game I'm doing tonight. This is the 15th game I've reviewed, all right? And I'm showing everybody the same thing, all right? That one player isn't the reason why these Hawks are losing games. Okay, and I've shown that through game film. Game film is important because it cannot change. Now, back in 2018, I've been saying certain things since then. I said, you know what? People need to be benched. What are we doing out here? You can't allow this to happen. Why are you letting it happen? And then year after year, and this player and this player and that player. So for me, showing these videos and showing the actual possession by possession what happens is not cool to me when it's preventable. And you can't keep saying that the coach can't do it when I see other coaches doing exactly what we need to be doing. And that's what upsets me. That's my main reason of even doing these reviews as I've been doing them over the last few months of the 2023 season and currently. So I just had to get that off my chest real quick for everybody watching. Because look, Luka, we all know he don't play no defense, right? Just picking a player. They went and made some moves to help that team get better, and it put them in the finals. And then what did they do in the offseason? Said, well, if we can't play defense, let's score more points and let's go get Klay Thompson. Like at a certain point, you gotta look at it just from that, as far as who are you surrounding your best players with to mitigate what they might not be good at, or accentuate what they're good at. Football does it all the time with players, quarterbacks especially, right? Baseball, same thing. You surround people with better people or better pieces, plural, not just say, here's some players and let's just see what happens. At a certain point, that can't be acceptable. So that's my little spiel for this evening. John, anything you want to say before we get started?
Yes, what you are going to show tonight, and I haven't been in the screening room. I don't know what video you're going to show. But one constant that we've had ever since Trae Young has been here. Trae Young at 6'0", 160 something pounds, is going to be more defensively challenged than offensively challenged. And he still is offensively challenged, as is going to be shown tonight and when you go over the next game, especially the last game we played. Because just like you said, okay, Luka doesn't play defense. All right, but what can be done, pieces that can be added that you don't subtract the offense from when you add those pieces, they can cover for your shooting superstar. They can help cover those deficiencies. And if you play ball correctly, if you strategize and play ball correctly, once you get those pieces, you won't even notice Luka missing on the defensive end.
And that's what I'm emphasizing, because you just kind of led into my next topic here. Why don't the Hawks just admit that they have bad coaching on the defensive side? Because again, some of this is basic defense. And that's why when I do my Sunday night basketball videos, some of you have seen them, some of you have not, I always talk about what happened when I played that night, full court, and then I bring up some of the attributes of why we lost or why we won. And then I slide them over to the Hawks and say, well, if we just switched on everything, we would never leave anybody wide open going down the lane for a dunk. But we can't even anticipate or use our peripheral vision or anything, and we keep doing the same thing. And that's why I say the bench can't be watching nothing, because they keep letting it happen quarter after quarter after quarter. And that's what's frustrating more so than anything else. I swear to God, that's what it is. So here's what we're going to do. Let me, what I usually do in my breakdowns, first, I go through both teams and what they did overall. I pick out the best three players as far as production-wise on both teams, and then I go shot for shot how the actual team scored against the Hawks. So that's what I do, just in case everybody hasn't watched it. So the OKC game, remember, I actually did review the preseason game we played against OKC, which we lost 104-99. All right. In that game, we only gave up 36 points in the paint, but they had 16 second chance points, 17 fast break points, and they hit 17 threes. Okay, just as a little bit of a reminder on that game. So Sunday's game, Chet. Oh, wait a minute. Give me a second here. I was about to give the numbers for the preseason game. All right, here we go. So, I copy pasted. I'm trying to figure out what is that. Okay, never mind. So anyway, The Hawks lost this game 128-104. And if you remember, the game was close up into the fourth quarter. Okay, people need to be reminded of that too. It's kind of crazy, right? Yes, we were missing Hunter, we're missing Bogey, we're missing Kobe, but that can't be an excuse. So why did the Hawks lose this game? The Hawks gave up 52 points in the paint, 17 second chance points. Sounds familiar, right? But they only gave up 7 fast break points. I was proud of them on that one, okay? Because that's all. We were 28th last year in fast break points given up. Some people don't know that, but we were, okay? OKC hit 16 threes in this game, too. Most of them were wide open, unfortunately. Top 3 players for OKC, SGA had 35 points on 11 of 25 shooting. He hit 10 of his free throws. He had 11 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks. He did it all, right? Chet on 8 for 12 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3, 9 boards, 4 assists, and a steal, had 6 blocks, okay? Jalen Williams had 20 points, though, too. 9 boards, 5 assists. So for the Hawks, they had 50 points in the paint, so kind of offset it a little bit. They had 30 second chance points. So they were hustling in that aspect there. They only had 9 fast break points, though. They hit 10 threes, which is less than 16, right? So numbers again, all right? Top players for the Hawks in the OKC game. Trey shot 50% in that game, 7 for 14. He was 2 of 7 from 3. He hit all of his free throws at 24 points, 8 assists. He did have 10 turnovers, though. And I'll get into that a little bit later, too. Kongu had 14 points off the bench. Zach, and that was his first start, I believe. He was 6 of 12 from the floor, 50% shooting, 6 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal. Really not sure why he didn't play 35 minutes. Probably would have served us a little bit better. But anyway, I do have to note, Clint was 3 of 8 in that game, 10 boards, but 5 of them were offensive rebounds. He had 6 points in that game. I had to address that. Now, the teams were even on boards, assists. OKC had 13 steals. They had 12 blocks in that game. Hawks had 19 turnovers. OKC shot 50% from the floor. All right. So I told you I would mention it. OKC scored 11 points off of the 10 turnovers by Trey. So they didn't score 30 points off those 10 turnovers. So just giving you the numbers there, right? I always talk about these things also, John, just so I can catch you up on stuff in case you hadn't seen any episodes of these reviews, particularly. Pride on defense. Got to have some kind of pride to play defense well, right? I'm talking about stopping the ball on fast breaks. The Hawks do not do that. Rotating to the open man. We seem to be allergic to doing that, right? Blocking out. We never know where our man is when the ball is in the air for some reason. Not sure why. Contesting all shots, all through the possession. Has to happen. We don't do it. Staying with your assignment. Something else we're allergic to. We just willingly turn our backs to whoever we're guarding, and we just let people do whatever behind us. Talking on defense. Another thing we don't do. We just point and think people can hear your finger. That's all we do. We just point. Again, getting back on defense. When the ball goes up, we miss a shot. We don't got the possession. We got to get back. And if we can't get back on our man, we got to call out, hey, get my man, I'll get yours. We don't ever do that, and we pay the price every time. And, of course, my favorite, overhelping. We do it for no reason all the time, and the NBA knows we're going to do it too, and they play accordingly if people notice. So those are things I want people to notate every time I play a clip. Hopefully y'all get that, all right? Now, first quarter, first shot of the first quarter. I'm gonna diagram this out for y'all as I try to get this splinter out my eye real quick. I can't see. I'm going blind all of a sudden. So Clint has Chet. Trey has Wiggins. These are the defensive lineups. Trey has Wiggins, Dyson has SGA, JJ has Dort, Zach has Williams. So Dort is going to be driving in this possession. He passes it to Chet. Chet drives to the basket on Clint. Gets there, puts a couple moves on, okay? I want you to note something. Dyson is standing in the paint already, 50 feet from SGA. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's kind of quick on his feet. He can kind of get back to his man usually. He has a sense about him, okay? I give him the benefit of the doubt. He does it better than Garrison anyway, but that's another story. Zach is ball watching on this possession. He's not looking at Williams. Williams sees this. You know what he does, of course? He backs cuts to the basket. Okay. Chet passes it to him. Williams, after a little bit of a move, he scores. Now, this is the first shot of the first quarter for OKC that I'm about to show y'all. Okay. And here I'm finding it. There we go.
Score, distributor. That's Holmgren going up against Capella. It's J-Dub down low, trying to use his size, and he got it up over.
Now, I am going to say something else, too. There's such a thing called help defense. And as a help defender, if you see your guy out of position a little bit, it is your job to help out and make up for that difference. If you don't want to do that, why are you even playing basketball? Just go play 21 somewhere. That's just my thought. But again, there's stuff that happens on the court for the Hawks that nobody should be able to get away with, and we get away with it. Okay. So, John, just from that first clip, any initial thoughts from what you just saw in the first shot that OKC hit?
No, you covered everything very well. I have nothing to add on that.
And some of these I'm not going to go too in depth because they're kind of easy. Some of them are layups. Some of them, are kind of self-explanatory. But a couple of them I do want to break down because, again, it goes into what in the world is going on out here. All right. Second shot, first quarter. This is a fast break. So Dyson is on SGA. He's bringing the ball up. You're going to have two Hawks, okay, back, Zach and Trey. So watch that. JJ is running next to SGA. It's not his man. So my thing is, if he's not going to commit to double teaming him in this case, what is he doing now? Because that means he's not guarding anybody technically, right? So again, his man is Dort. He's not on him. SGA drives. Once he is stopped, he passes it to a wide open Dort for three. Okay. So I want you to watch this because, again, you got Clint coming up, doesn't have no recognition of who's on the floor and what's going on either. Okay. Clint could have shaded over to Dort once he realized what's going on. But again, we don't have no self-realization as a team for some reason. I don't understand that either. But here's that play. It's a fast break.
He tries to attack, kicks out to a wide open shooter. There is Dort. And he drills it from deep.
Did you see anybody contest the shot, by the way? Did you see a lot of people just stand still like they got cement boots on, right? That's my problem. See, this is a team thing here. It gets worse, people. This is the second shot of the first quarter, okay? I'm just saying this ain't cool because here's the deal. You know what the final score was? What if the OKC Thunder didn't hit 16 threes in this game? I'm just saying. There's a difference. Third shot, first quarter. No communication on defense. Nobody is talking. Nobody calls out to stay with man or switch, okay? So Dort has the ball. He drives on JJ. He pump fakes, then passes to Wiggins, okay? Dort moves to Wiggins, okay, and Trey. Trey moves up, okay? Now let me be clear. Since nobody says anything, there's an anticipation that either Trey is going to stay with Dort, okay, and JJ take Wiggins, or since it wasn't actually a screen set this time, Trey should just stay with Wiggins and JJ goes to Dort. But in that split second, nothing happens what it's supposed to. So JJ points to Dort instead of going to him. That's not communication. I'm trying to be clear about this, okay? That split second, Wiggins drives on JJ and pass him. Meanwhile, Dyson is standing in the paint, and instead of becoming the help defender, he leans left as SGA is standing wide open in the corner, okay? Clint is right there as well. He doesn't move either. This is why on this one, I'm giving it to the whole team. I'm going to trip because, by the way, John, I attribute each bucket to who actually either gives it up or who is the reason of giving it up as well. Okay, so at the end of the show, I actually tell everybody here's who gave up what points. Okay, so I'll get to that. Well, here's the third shot after this breakdown.
First couple of years with New Orleans. Wiggins. Oh, nice move. Goes with
That is the wrong one. Sorry.
He tries to attack, kicks out to a wide open shooter. There is goal. And he drills it from deep.
I think that was the very first one.
Okay. What happened? Something's happening. I've uploaded a couple of times, and they're mixing each other up for some reason. I gotta call them. It might be an error with the system, but here's the third shot, first quarter. My fault.
First couple years with New Orleans. Wiggins. Oh, nice score. Goes with the left hand, and then a blow by on Johnson, and then scores with the left hand.
Now, John, I'm gonna play it again. I want you to watch what Clint does on this.
First couple years with New Orleans. Wiggins. Oh, nice score. Goes with the left hand, and then a blow by on Johnson, and then scores with the left hand.
So again, you saw JJ just point, don't do anything. They could have talked it out and said what we're going to do. Nothing happened there. So he blows by JJ. But where's the help defense? Clint is right there, and he doesn't move. What do you think, John?
Clint is showing his age. Clint is definitely showing his age and his inability to move, because you remember a few years back, he had leg issues at the beginning of the season where he wasn't able to move like he, like he did when he first got here. Now we got damaged goods here anyway when we got Clint as well as Bogey. We drafted him straight out of the ICU. Okay. And for these few games this year that I've been watching, and from what I saw out of Larry Nance Jr., I would prefer Larry Nance Jr. start over Clint, because Clint, he will challenge you. If he's at the rim, he will challenge you at the rim. But sliding over to help out with a person driving to the rim, I mean, he's sitting up there, he's stargazing. He just stargazing, just looking. And, he made the shot. All right, well, I guess I'll lumber on down this end and see if I can get a doggone, see if I can get a pass or get a lob. Easy, quote unquote, easy points, but not playing the intimidating defense that you knew from a younger Clint Capella.
And you said it really, you kind of hit the head on the nail with that phraseology in regards to just the effort part. And again, Clint is not old, but 2020, he got some Defensive Player of the Year votes. He hasn't been that Clint since then. That's 4 years ago now. And it's really shown up the last two seasons. Again, there's a reason that the Hawks were 25th in points in the paint given up last year. And some people just don't want to look at it like that, but that's why I keep showing the tape, because the tape will tell you what's going on. And even, again, some of these contests, and as my co-host Jordan Jackson always says, he always takes bad angles, and the NBA is not scared of coming into the paint against Clint, because they know they're going to probably get the layup every single time almost, and that's not good. And again, we gotta again, adjusting the minutes and things of that nature somehow, some way, because it's not sustainable long term. It just isn't. And again, that's just the third shot of the first quarter there.
It's going to be more of the same, because I saw the game myself, and it's spreading. I'm saying spreading, but it has spread to Double O, to a Okongwu.
Well, let me stop you right there. So that's one thing I said with the one aspect that Okongwu is, again, Bruno, Okongwu, and Clint all last year, the overhelp, not knowing stay with your man and or go ahead and just switch. We always overhelp on the ball handler, even if a screen wasn't even set. And I'm like, that's a coaching issue right there, because everything else, is cool on. He can move his feet. If he's driving, he can move and everything. But on that pick and roll, the NBA knows to attack us because they know we're going to do the same thing every time. But it's all three bigs. I'm like, where's our big man coach to coach us out of that? Because if we just stop that, our points in the paint go way down all of a sudden. Like open threes all of a sudden go way down all of a sudden. It's maddening to me, because I'm like, I couldn't get away with that if I was playing on the court, because I would never get picked up again ever in life. And I've been playing for 40 plus years now. And that's what frustrates me I'm not getting paid, and they are a lot. These are simplistic stuff, and it can be fixed. I just don't know why it's not being fixed, John. I just don't know, man. I just don't know. So let me go to the next shot. This is an easy one. I'm not even going to explain this one.
Makes him so good, Mike. He can shoot it from anywhere. He can make it from anywhere. But he's also got the ability. And Shea, speed. Even with Capella in the vicinity, he's able.
So I guess we could say, man, Chris, that's SGA, man. But I'm like, but why should that matter, though? I'm just saying.
Well, you're right. You're absolutely right. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is, how prolifically they can score, what moves they have. They challenged Jordan. The Boston Celtics, the Detroit Pistons, they challenged Jordan. Well, what are they? You know, they, just like you said earlier, pride in defense, pride in it. You know, I don't care who you are. You don't come in here unscathed. You don't come in here unchallenged. When you said pride on defense, you know, when you said that, you look, you don't come in here. I possibly would take a doggone flagrant or something of that nature, or hammer somebody really good.
One of the things I always talk about when I play, John, is my job is to make sure that my guy doesn't score. That's my first job. And then the little people can't get rebounds. That's my job. When I go, I'm usually the biggest on the court, the tallest and the biggest on the court. All the other jobs are secondary, whether I'm running the offense through me, I'm posting up, am I setting screens, you know, whatever I got to do. But my man can't score. So, again, cornerback. In football, you're a cornerback. That wide receiver can't go nowhere. You got to lock him up. And whatever happens else on the field doesn't matter. Your guy can't do anything. And for some reason, we don't have that mentality on our team, and that's what we need. Because all the other teams do it to us for some reason. And that's why I keep saying that it's not like it can't be done, because we see it happen with everybody else. So why can't we do it? And it always goes back to coaching. And I'm like, why are you absolving the coaches from doing their job and just saying, well, Chris, they're supposed to know how to play basketball. I'm like, but what if they don't? Why are you assuming things? Because if it's obvious they can't, are we going to just keep doing it like this because we're not winning like this? Period, right? So I don't know. I just look at it from that standpoint because it's the truth, right? So fifth shot, we got Clint on Chet. Dyson, that's SGA. Trey has Wiggins. SGA drives to the bucket again. Roddy is standing in the paint. He is nowhere near his man, who is Dort. So he is there in this case, and actually looks like he's going to double SGA. Problem is, nobody talks again. So Dort is wide open, and Chet is wide open. SGA looks up, and since Clint is ball watching also, Chet is wide open for guess what? Another three-point shot. Here we go.
Don't know much about Riza Shea. Didn't quite get the same publicity that Victor Wembanyama did, despite coming from France. As well as Holmgren, he finally drills his first three of the year.
John, is that acceptable?
Man, See, woo, boy.
I'm telling you, it's hard when I do these reviews, man. When I pull up the tape.
See, I have flashbacks when I see stuff like that. Okay, one of my pet peeves is it's an offensive pet peeve. When a man drives to the basket, gets up in the air, and then passes down into a sea of hands right at the basket. Oh, I have flashbacks of running around the whole school 5 or 6 times, because that's what my coach used to have me do.
Punishment.
Very next time you do some stuff like that, you know where to go and you know what to do. Instead of 5 laps, give me 8. Because standing there just watching, and the closeout on three-pointers, frustrates me to no end, because there is a way for you to jump in front of that man.
Oh, it's coming, John.
There's a way for you to jump in front of that man and not go flying out of the scene in the movie, all out of position. And then once you do that, you don't make an effort to get back into the movie.
Won't even budge. Like it didn't even matter. Like the game stopped. It's the most amazing thing. I'm like, did the time machine guy come and just hit the button and be like, you froze? Like, is that a game we're playing now? We're freezing in the. It's crazy, John. I'm telling you.
And what they'll do, and I've seen every Hawk do it. They will jump flying past the man, land, turn around and look. Don't make another move. Don't make another move. You know, you're out of the frame, but that does not mean you don't get back and try to get a rebound.
Game. I showed it. I think it was here.
Oh man.
So again, it doesn't get better. There's a lot here. So 6-shot. Now O is in the game. Okongu's in the game. He has Dame. Trey has Isaiah Joe. Garrison is supposed to have Williams. Supposed to. Bit is supposed to have Caruso. Supposed to. Roddy is supposed to have Wiggins. The operative word is supposed to. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I say suppose because nobody stays with their man again, or it looks like they care about staying with their assignment. So Joe gets a screen from Dame. Trey goes around. Unfortunately, instead of O staying with Dame, he goes to Joe. Bit, who has left Caruso, comes out to guard Dame, who has gotten the pass from Joe. Caruso has back cut. Again, no communication. He would have had a layup if they had passed it to him, but they didn't. Instead, he passes it to Williams, who, guess what? He's wide open because Roddy left his man. Okay? So I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to finish up this 6-shot here. Oh. Here we go.
Bruce Montague, Isaiah Joe in. Little two-person action, the quick pass. Wiggins, little sidestep three. And Wiggins so reliable from deep, shows it there.
Now I'm going to play this again because, again, Garrison had his back turned to his man the whole possession and then turns around to run to Williams, but it's too late then. I also want you to look at what Roddy is doing in that possession. I want you to look the whole possession of what Roddy is doing, okay? So I'm going to play it one more time for y'all, and then we'll go to the next one.
Bruce Montague, Isaiah Joe in. Little two-person action, the quick pass. Wiggins, little sidestep three. And Wiggins so reliable from deep, shows it there.
Who are you checking, man?
Was literally doing the hokey pokey, turn yourself around. That's what it's all about, right? Is that defense? I want someone to tell me, am I crazy or not, John? I'm just trying to tell people this is not a one-man issue here. One man is not giving up all of these points. It's impossible because, like I said in a couple of shows ago, one man doesn't play against 5. One man doesn't play against 10. It's supposed to be 5-on-5. So what are the other people doing the whole game, right? I'm showing you what's happening verbatim. I'm not making it up, am I? I don't think so.
So no. I mean, you can't argue with the videotape, you know. I mean, David Roddy, in that particular clip, I thought he was doing side straddle hop because he was standing with nobody around him, didn't go to a man, and he's not 7 feet anything. He's acting like he can block or knock a pass away where he's nowhere near it. And you're not checking anybody. Nobody's checking anybody. And see, Chris, not one thing I've got to say at this juncture. Right now, well, I call him research instead of trying to pronounce his whole name, Ricochet, or whatever his name, Ricochet Rabbit, or whatever his name is. He is the most polished pro we've got on the floor at this juncture.
People are starting to notice that now.
He's the most polished pro we got on the floor right now because he has been coached in team basketball. And I would say that they're not going to improve. You know, they haven't improved since the previous year, no matter what pieces that we put on the Hawks. They haven't improved from the previous year as far as playing defense. Ricochet is going to get mad. he's going to get frustrated, and he may go into complacency on defense because he sees nobody else is playing defense and he can't save the whole team. As you just pointed out, one person can't play 5. Okay. Now you already have, as I said, a liability in one of the smallest point guards in the NBA. But Trae Young is trying this year. I see him getting.
Well, I'm gonna cut you off before you finish your statement there. He's gotten better at defense every year he's been in the league, and he has the effort production to show that. He's a league leader and team leader in charges taken, and he's always taking the ball from somebody. Okay, so and at the end of the day, they're not targeting Trae Young.
Yeah.
Okay, I got hours of tape to show they're not trying to go after Trae Young every doggone possession. Again, Trae Young ain't giving up 157 points in the game. Trae Young is not the one giving up the most points every game. Okay, so just want to throw that out there real quick. He is small.
Yeah.
Again, there's Joel Embiid ain't getting a screen to say, hey, I need to get on Trae Young. Send me a screen so I can get on Trae. That's not happening because they don't have to with our team. But go ahead, John.
But, well, piggybacking off of that, see, the thing is, at that height, at that weight, you have to be a Mookie Blaylock. You're going to get your defensive stats in steals. You're going to get your defensive stats in pressures, and in quickness. Just like who is that plays? I think he plays for the Pelicans. The Joker will just sit over there and hide, and then run wide open and catch somebody napping and steal the ball from him. That's your role. That's your role at that height. Now, you putting a body on somebody, well, that's career suicide. You got to use your quickness and your ball stealing ability. Those are the only things that you can contribute to on defense at your height. Now, you can try and affect the shot, jump in the air, do things of that nature, but I'm not counting on you being successful for doing that. But thing is that it may bother somebody once or twice during the game. It may affect something once or twice during the game. Okay. And Trae, he's got to have help and people at the other 4 positions that are going to cover him, as I said in the very beginning. You got to cover Trae Young.
Let me put it a different way. It's everybody's job to play team defense, and it's everybody's job to help. Because you're going to get beat sometime in the NBA. There's some really good players in the NBA at all positions. If you're not willing to come over and say, okay, my guy got beat up at the top, I see it happening, I need to come over, and then you need to come over, and then you need to slide over, because that's the doggone game of basketball. If you can't do that, you're not going to win. You can't win because everybody else is willing to do it. But us, if that's a personal thing, that's messed up. Because, again, the whole premise is, oh, well, everybody got to break their backs to try to help Trae Young. That's not actually really true. We should be breaking our backs to just stick with our man, because it's our man that's beating us, because we keep turning our backs to our man, and you're creating mismatches. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't want to play with your man. That's creating the mismatches. Every now and again, Trae is going to get on Jimmy Butler. It happens. But you know what can happen? If they don't take advantage of it instantaneously, you switch back. I don't let my point guard get beat up by my guy if I get switched up off of him. I go and switch back, or I double team. I make them do something different. I make them reset. It's selfish to keep saying we're just gonna give up the points because Joker is on Trae Young now. Is that that's what we're doing? Because that's what you're saying, right? But it don't be happening like that. Everybody be scoring on everybody else. And I've shown the tape for that, which I'm about to do in a row right now. 8th shot, first quarter. This was actually the last field goal of the first quarter for OKC. We had the lead in the first quarter, by the way, just as a reminder. So I'm going to play that real quick.
He was 44% last season. Never afraid to shoot. Always got to be careful of him taking charges inside. Shea, Daniels on him. Tough fadeaway. What a shot from SGA.
Give him the brother that good shot, right? You know, that's what it is, right? That was the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, SGA again. He gets a pick from Chet. Clint is now on SGA. I want you to note what Clint does on this possession, though. Again, there's a way to play defense and a way not to play defense. Just saying. Second quarter, first shot.
With Case and Wallace, Isaiah Joe, Chet Holmgren, SGA. There is SGA pulling up, and he got to find up over Capella. He is just always under control.
Now, I am a big. I can't retreat like that because that's not defense. I'm just asking out in general. Again, y'all can comment, but is retreating all the way back to the basket as the guy coming with the ball coming straight at you defense, or do you make them stop and do something different? Because me, if I have John Morant in front of me, he's going to have to do something because I'm contesting his shot or I'm stopping him. I'm going to make him move that ball somewhere else because I'm not going to just keep backing up and just let him just shoot on me. What do you think, John?
Chris, SGA would have gotten a massage all out there on the court because what you do with somebody that's, pump faking, you giving up your dribble, you're pump faking, you're spinning or whatever. Oh, I'm coming up on, if I'm on you, I'm coming up on you. Okay. You have nowhere to go. Your dribble is over with. I'm coming up on you. And you might be able to get halfway in that spin, but you're going to spin right into me. Okay. You're going to spin right into me. You might lose the ball. Okay. Because I'm going to show real hard right there in front of you and hold my arms up. You're going to have to pass it. You're going to have to pass the ball because I'm getting in your grill. I've got the height. I've got the weight. I've got the size. Why would you, put one foot behind the other toward the basket and stretch your arm out like this in a full attempt? And see, the thing is, if you played ball, that's a full attempt at defense to impress people who don't know what defense is.
See, I'm glad you're on tonight, John, because I was going to be saying basically the same stuff. There is playing defense, and there's trying to look like you're playing defense. There's a huge difference in just trying to say I'm participatory, so I look like I play defense to everybody out there. But in essence, our team was 26 in block shots last year. There's a reason for it. We don't contest anything. I'm going to play it again, and then I'm going to play the very next shot that OKC made. It's actually, I believe, by the same person, actually. So I'm going to play these back to back.
Good job by Joe to get out there on him. Doesn't need a whole lot of room to get that shot off.
Shea again driving on Daniels. Over the shoulder, puts it up.
So, again, I'm going to just keep going at this point because, let me see. Yeah, I'm on the third one now. So, Clint is actually trying to get the loose ball. SGA picks it up. So I'm going to play that one now.
He's going to track it down. It looked like Capella was going to get possession. Step back three for SGA. Knocks it down right in front of Capella. He took a shot.
The foul should have taken place when he stopped. The foul should have taken place when he stopped because, that would have been a very cheap 3-point play. The foul should have taken place when he stopped so that he wouldn't have even got into a shooting motion or gotten the ball up. You bump him there. And he's retreating, he's retreating back toward the basket. You choose to play defense on that man. You got to move up and be able to slide to the left, slide to the right, but press him. Get in his way.
And that goes into the other part of communication. Chris, to your left. Chris, to your right. Chris, you're by yourself. Chris, switch. Chris, stay with man. Chris, get back on your man. See, that's what my teammates are doing behind me because they know if I'm up front and I'm trying to chase my man around, they're letting me know if a screen is coming. They're trying to get me off of their guy so they can try to score because they know I got the wingspan. I'm trying to block that boy, right? So they're trying to keep me off. It's basic basketball, and it's just frustrating that we just will not do it, okay? And I'm just trying to emphasize that by these reviews that I'm doing in detail so that maybe somebody will see it and be like, dang, why ain't we doing it? it might just dawn on them. It might be a miracle, but I'm just trying to just show people it's not what you think it is. This is what it actually is. So
right.
Go ahead, John.
I'm sorry. See, this is the thing. We were told, because I go on this other podcast with Demond, and we do the We Talk Hawks broadcast, and it's a free for all in there. We just going back and forth, we going at it. But Quinn said that he wasn't emphasizing defense. He's emphasizing nothing but offense. And I asked the question, I think it was last night or night before last, who is our big man coach? And I don't see anybody on the roster. Now, the problem is we haven't had a big man coach on this team since the Rustlers have owned it.
Okay? I said that on plenty of shows now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, see, because centers need centers who have played the game to get the mentality, to get the emotion, to get the knowledge of how to play that position. You need guard coaches, you need forward coaches, you need big man coaches. Okay. So
Chris, they play high school basketball and college basketball, but who cares? That don't got nothing to do with professional level. And if after 10 years you still can't hit a jump shot, a baby hook, a fadeaway turnaround, or your free throws, or a three, there's something wrong with that picture.
Right. And something else. This draft, and I normally don't really say what it is that I want, because I have a general manager and a owner and a team president. That's your job. Okay. That is your job. But I really wanted a center. I wanted Zach Edey, because at least at 7'4", he is an obstacle to scoring up under the basket. Okay. Zach Edey, somebody that can patrol the middle, young enough where his knees not hurting, his ankles not hurting, he's not struggling to move. He may move like the human monolith, but I remember Mark Eaton at 7'4". There were very few people that came in on Mark Eaton that Mark Eaton didn't send back above the key.
4 or 5 shots a game.
Yeah. And intimidating many more. And big, like us, going back to the coaching aspect, these people, and Chris, I know we've talked about this before. These people are coming into the NBA with no fundamentals at all. They're coming in with no prerequisites. They're coming in with no training. They, that Overtime Elite, AAU, all of these organizations, they don't practice. They just play. That's all they do is play. They don't practice. There's no coach driving home basic basketball to these people so that they know how a big man is supposed to play, how a power forward, small forward, shooting guard, point guard is supposed to play. And it's really frustrating, because the mentality, when I talk to various people, especially the people on We Talk Hawks, the younger people think that that's basketball. But there's a reason why the United States sends pros to the Olympics.
Yeah.
There's a reason why. Because if they didn't, the United States wouldn't have won a gold medal in 20-something years, because those teams, especially the European League teams, basically the world, they will stand out there. Okay, go ahead and shoot it. You can shoot. Go ahead and shoot it. They'll let you stand out there at the 3-point line and shoot it. They'll let you try to crash in and dunk. Okay. But they know how to defend you as a team, not as an individual, but as a team. And team fundamentals are things that are being missed in these leagues because you don't practice them. No one's teaching you that. Just like you were saying about the role of a big man. Since me and you, I'm 6'3". What? How tall are you, Chris?
6'2", 6'3".
6'2", 6'3". Okay. A lot of times I was the biggest man out there. Okay. I'm the biggest man, tallest man out there. So they make me play center. All right. So I'm having to clean up everybody's messes, depending on the team that I'm playing for. Now I'm having to clean up mess. Okay.
That's what Mutombo did. Rest in peace. What was he there for? You made a mistake. Whoop. Made a mistake. No. And that's again, that's just part of the game, John. And again, I'm gonna try to get some of these shots in. But
go ahead.
Yes, sir. It's scary that people just don't want to see that part of it. They just look at the score and they make an assumption, but they don't want to put any kind of onus on anybody else. Not the coaching staff, not the players themselves, and they just accept it. But I'm like, but look at these other teams that do this stuff to us. Why are they able to do it and we cannot do the same thing? Not even the same thing, but just 30% of it. I'd be happy with 30%, and I just don't get it. But that's why I'm going to show these next couple of shots and people are going to get mad. So 5th shot, 2nd quarter, Roddy has Dort. Again, Roddy leads his man. Again, ball swings. SGA drives to the basket. You got 4 Hawks standing in the paint. 4. So watch this shot.
6-point game. Shea. Dort, he'll let it fly. Dort's got himself a 3.
You can't do that. The next shot is even worse. I'm going to play it and then I'm going to explain it.
Do you remember, was it at the LA Sports Arena or was it in Utah?
It was in Utah, yeah. How about you? He is touching it up tonight, folks.
So I'm going to play that one again because, again, I believe Roddy might be worse than Garrison when it comes to standing in the paint. Wiggins drives to the basket. Garrison leaves his man, not to double, but just to look like he's going to stop the ball, but he doesn't. He leaves, then goes away. Lets Wiggins goes by. Trey allows Caruso to go behind him. This is a mistake on his part. Caruso gets past Wiggins. Dort glides all the way to the top of the key. Roddy still is not playing anybody again. And so when Caruso gets that pass, he passes his open Dort. So I'm going to play it again. Watch this.
Do you remember, was it at the LA Sports Arena or was it in Utah?
It was in Utah, yeah. How about you? He is touching it up tonight, folks.
Roddy again. Turn yourself around. That's what. And again, mind y'all, this is not me hating any of our players. It's just wanting our players to be better than what they are because they're not. And we're losing because of it. That's it. I just need them to know that this can't be happening. You see what I'm saying? Because it's all fixable. It really, truly is. 7th shot, 2nd quarter. This particular clip wasn't available, but Chet hits a 14-foot jumper on the team. 8th shot, another fast break. Again, we don't do well on fast breaks. There's a reason for it. When you lose your man, you got to call someone out to say, hey, pick up man. Off a turnover, Dyson gets back, JJ gets back, Zach gets back. Trey was next to SGA. Double O has lost Chet, and he does call it out, okay? But nobody stops the ball. So Zach is retreating. 2 players are running free on the right side. Dyson can't guard 2 people. He picks one, and it's Chet. So SGA goes past him. He passes it to Williams. Instead of Chet, cuts behind Dyson now. And he gets the pass from Williams for a dunk. Nobody switched. So I put this on the whole team because, again, if we had just did this, this shot would have been preventable. Watch the 8th shot, 2nd quarter.
Final 3 minutes. In fact, Young got caught in the air. There's a turnover.
That's good defense by Caruso.
Oh, nice pass. The little touch pass inside to Holmgren. Beautifully done for the stop.
See, again, if you didn't know better, it didn't matter. See, if this was in college, the whole team would be benched. This would not happen if that was a college play right there. Coach would be like, but we won't do that. For some reason, it's not allowed. Other coaches will bench their players, whoever they are. You ain't playing well, you got to come off the court, sir. I control this, not the player. It doesn't matter how much money you make. The coach still makes all the decisions. A player can't get on the court without the coach letting them get on the court. That's how it works. There are no player coaches out there except for LeBron. We'll give him that, right? But other than that, but again, it's the principle of it all. And here's another shot, John. 9th shot. Nobody stays with their man again. We have no defensive discipline. SGA has the ball at the top of the key. Dyson is on him. Zach has Williams. JJ is supposed to be on Dort. Trey has Caruso, but JJ now is on Caruso, so Trey goes on to Dort. Trey isn't playing Dort at the start of the play, so Dort and Caruso switch places. You'll see that. Okay, watch that. Dort goes to set a pick on Dyson. Trey comes. Dort holds Dyson on this. It should have been called, but it wasn't. Dort then runs to the paint. Dyson either should have called out to Trey and say, stay with Dort, since he decided to stay with SGA, or Dyson should have stayed with Dort since Trey came up to SGA. He was going to do the switch, but nobody talked. Caruso has switched. Caruso is now by himself. JJ is way far away from him. But once Dort starts towards the paint, JJ slides to Caruso. SGA turns with 2 men on him. Keep that in mind, and passes it to Williams. Now, at this point, JJ is the help defender now because O goes to Williams to contest the shot. Williams gets passed by O, and he dunks it, and JJ never moves in this case. Now, if you don't know, the last game, the Hornets game, JJ gave up 23 points in that game. He didn't have a good game defensively, y'all. So I just need y'all to know, again, it's not sometimes who you think it is that's giving up all the points in these games right now. All right. Mm-hmm. So let's I lost my place. What did I say that was? That was the 9th shot. Here we go.
It's quick from Young. He's used to those double teams. Now he sees it again. Has an open man. It's J-Dub. Goes right around and puts it down.
And how about that pass was perfect.
We ain't talking. You can't play defense without talking. You don't know where nobody is, and if you don't know what to do, you got to call it out. But if you know what to do, but somebody else don't know what to do, then it gets difficult. You mentioned like Zach would know what to do, Dyson would know what to do, but they're trying to anticipate that everybody else does know. And again, they're not calling it out though, so it's kind of like their fault as well. They got to call, hey, switch or stay with man. I got your man. They're not even doing the little things like that, and that's what's frustrating because if they did, they wouldn't give up half the points that they do each game. These games are winnable games, but they just won't do the basics. What do you think about those couple of plays, John?
Popovich would call them all and sit them all. Popovich would sit them all because, okay, and play that over again, Chris, if you don't mind. Play number 9 over again. Because
it's quick from Young. He's used to those double teams. Now he sees it again. Has an open man. It's J-Dub. Goes right around and puts it down.
And how about that pass was perfect.
What was Double O doing? What was that he did? That if that isn't Olay defense, I don't know what is. You had the position right there between him and the basket. You move out the way and go and then try to jump behind him.
We move out the way of a lot of shots, especially in the paint. We're there, and all of a sudden we just step back and we just watch them go by. It's not cool, John. I'm trying to tell you. That's why I do these videos.
No, it definitely isn't. Look, if that man is coming towards you, why are you giving up your position? Why are you giving up your position? Because, okay, say, for instance, he had a man behind him he could pass it to. That's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to pass that. He's not going to walk straight down Peachtree Street and get the bucket. I'm knocking you down.
We never dictate the teams. We let teams dictate what they want to do with us. And it happens. It happens way too much. We got 2 more shots before halftime. So, again, the whole team should be fined $10,000 And the bench coaches should be fined $100 for nobody being able to communicate on a fast break. So Caruso blocks Roddy off the shot. Coming up the floor, Chet beats O. Williams is back. Dyson and Roddy are back for the Hawks, but nobody attaches themselves to anybody. Zach has SGA as he brings the ball up with court. Caruso sets a back pick on Zach. Okay. SGA turns the corner. Dyson has Williams, but is ball watching now. So when SGA gets past Zach, Williams starts to the basket because Dyson is coming to meet SGA, as is Roddy. SGA had two people he could have passed it to. This happens a lot too against the Hawks. Watch this shot.
Seen from Atlanta the years past. There is a swipe away by Caruso.
He's had 3 of those already.
Shea serves it up, and there's Jaden.
Man, ain't nobody checking no damn body.
Just,
These jokers having a damn a cookie and coffee social right there in the paint. 4 people in the paint. Oklahoma. Oh my goodness.
it happens a lot, John. Again, there'll be 4 people, their feet be in the paint, which means that at least 3 people on the outside that are wide open doing whatever. There was one game of the 2023 season. I think it was either the Pacers game or could have been the Hornets game. I can't remember, but we were trying to play zone defense, which we also don't know how to play. And the same thing happened. They didn't have to break the zone. There was like 2 people just standing there waiting to get the ball to them. And we're just out there like you got 3 people, 1, 2, 3 lined up with their arms up playing zone, but you got 2 guys that them went in back of them like they couldn't see them, and you could just pick whoever you wanted to get the layup. Who you want the layup? You want it, you want it. And I'm like, but this happens all the time. And I'm like, how is that possible though if they're looking at tape on the sideline? Where is the adjustment?
Replay that again, and that's something else I want to show you.
Go ahead. Here you go.
Seen from Atlanta the years past. There is a swipe away by Caruso.
He's had 3 of those already.
Shea serves it up, and there's Jaden.
Did you see women used to call it sashaying? Did we run to establish anything?
Oh, don't give me again.
I mean, we it's either they Cadillacing down the floor.
The Hawks were 28th in fast break points given up last year. 28th. We lost 21 games by 7 points or less. One of the reasons was fast break points. It's bad. It's really, 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 really bad. And you're seeing it in real time. And so for me, again, I got one more field goal for OKC in the second quarter before going to the third quarter. So Okongwu has Chet again. Chet is at the 3-point line. So my question is, why isn't Okongwu at the 3-point line with his man? I want someone to really explain it. And since you're on the show today, John, you get a chance to do it. So SGA passes to Chet for a wide open 3. I'm gonna go ahead and play it. Actually, I got 2 more shots to show. Here we go.
Well extended out on the perimeter. Shea feeling the pressure. Open man, it's Holmgren. Catch fire 3. That's good.
So one of the things I like to talk about is why don't the Hawks think that no big in the NBA can hit a 3 because Clint can't hit a 3? Clint has 5 3-point attempts in his 10-year career. So why does he think that nobody can shoot a 3? But now, shoot, why does Okongwu think nobody can hit a 3? Now, again, we could talk about lapse in judgment and stuff. Again, Okongwu is nowhere near what Clint is, but he has his moments too, and that was one of them right there. Okay, he was wide open. He's a 3-point shooter and big that can hit the 3, and we left him wide freaking open. Why isn't he there with his man? What do you think, John? Any thought?
You asking me to explain stupidity like that? I can't do it. I can't do it because, and see, that's why Larry Nance Jr. That's why I keep saying Larry Nance Jr. should be either starting. I'm saying he needs to start. and we need to find somebody else to sub for him, or have Larry Nance Jr. be the sub and find somebody else to start, because he knows he can hit a 3-pointer. And this man, if you scout your players, and see, this is something that the professional players do.
Better stop.
I'm just saying, you scout your opponent, no matter whether it's a back-to-back, no matter whether it's another week in advance. You scout your opponent player by player for the players, team by team for the coaches. Look, they know exactly what we're going to do on offense. And it's very easy on offense for us. It's going to be the pick and roll. It's going to always be the pick and roll. All right? But what do? It doesn't look like we do any type of scouting based on this, based on what you just saw, or either somebody's not following instructions.
Somebody's not following instructions. Both, right? So again, I've said this too. It's either they're not being told or they're not following, but it can't be both. And so then it's a matter of, okay, well, now do we adjust the players? And we've done that to an extent. This is the first time since 2020 where we adjusted some of the players. And again, I feel that Okongwu would be the better starter. I've showed 36 of his starts to prove he'd be the better starter right now, because he could do everything that Clint can't do right now. And if you got Nance backing him up, I think we'll just be a much better team just by addition by subtraction. It is what it is. Or we can go and try to get Ayton and get a for sure 18 and 10 guy in here to play with Trae Young and have Okongwu backing him up, or whatever we got to do. Maybe Nance end up backing him up and we have to trade Okongwu to get him. But we can't match up with folks as we are right now because of this stuff. So again, if we can't get the coaches to do it, then we have to get – that's why I wanted Caruso. That's why I wanted to try to get Herb somehow. That's why I wanted to try to pull off a miracle and get OG somehow or another, but they ended up re-signing him. We have to adjust who we have to say, you know how to play a little bit better on this end of the floor than somebody else, because the coaching staff doesn't care about it. Because, again, why would you let it keep happening when we're not winning? It'd be different if we won the NBA championship last year like this, but did we? No, we didn't, right? And again, this is a year-by-year issue. It's not. I showed 8 games of the 2023 season. The last 7 we lost in a row, and this is what we were doing. And so I showed the 4 preseason games, and we were doing the same thing. So I'm scared to death because I'm like, well, wait a minute. Where are some changes at? I know some of the players hadn't played a lot yet, but now, again, when we started playing the regular season, I'm like, but now, okay, now we are playing the regular season and the same stuff is happening. Again, a player or two is not going to mitigate all of these errors and issues that we have, and we don't have no adjustments coming from the bench, and that really scares me. Here's the last shot of the quarter before halftime. Now remember, Hawks led at halftime, right? Leading by 3, and then all of a sudden they're leading by 1. There was a reason. Chet had shot a free throw. He misses it. Nobody blocks him out. Nobody blocks out Caruso. Caruso tips the ball out to Chet. Trae picks him up. Now Trae knows he can't block him, right? It is what it is, but at least Trae picks him up, and we'll see what happens after I play this shot real quick.
Chet taking his time. The ball tapped out. And another opportunity. 3 seconds. Holmgren's going to have to fire. He catches it midair and beats the guy.
So here's the crazy thing. Not only did Trae pick up, he actually contested the shot he knew he had no chance of blocking, and at least he contested it. Chet shot an air ball. You don't know what can happen. Contest the shot. But to not contest shots over and over and over again like we do as a team doesn't make any sense, especially when you're tall, okay? But here it is, nobody blocked out, and they got a ball that just came in the person's hands, and he laid it up, and all of a sudden a 3-point lead became a 1-point lead.
Yeah, because the man came in there wide open, no box out, because, man,
I'm telling you, man, there's no way. Look, if that was to happen last Sunday night when I played, man, Chris on God tonight, man. Who wants to play? Because OG Chris, he don't look like he might be hurt, man. Because we actually I played the tournament Saturday and then I played Sunday. So if I had did that, yeah, man, Chris, you go ahead and sit out, man. You can take score for us, man. But you cool and all, but I'm trying to win a game, right?
Yeah.
And these guys are getting paid $25 million a year. They can't block out. Like, we can't do none of the basics of basketball. That's what's scaring me, John. And it's just frightening that people are letting it happen by them saying, oh, well, it's all on just Trae Young and Trae Young alone. And I'm like, how many times have I seen Trae Young in any of these plays so far, John? Have you been counting?
You hadn't.
So I'm just saying, and we were still close up to this point. And I'm not saying that Trae didn't give up no points. And again, I'm never going to say that Trae is the best defender in the world. We didn't draft him for that, by the way. We drafted Hunter for that, but that's a whole other story. I won't talk about that today. But at the end of the day, Trae also is able to even out by his production. Most nights, not last night, of course. But most nights, he's giving us 45, 50 points a game for his points and assists and what he does on the court for the team. His defense is not the reason we lose games, though. It just isn't. I've proved that beyond a shadow of a doubt way too many times now. Okay? Again, there's times he gets mystified like the rest of them and stuff, but more times than not, Trae stays with his man long enough in the possession to where he's not the one getting scored on. It's everybody else around him and all these people out there in Twitterverse and Instagramverse and Facebookverse and stuff keeps just blaming it on one player. But I'm like, but why aren't you blaming it on the other people who are not getting back on defense, not blocking out, not calling out no defenses, not switching, not contesting any shots, not rotating to the open man, and over-helping on every play? Because there's a lot of that going on. I'm not just saying it for the sake of saying it, right? So
it's a pandemic. It's a pandemic, man, because looking at this, and I watch it and I see it every time that the game is played, that during the time that the game is going on, I'm concentrating on different things that are, and me, I'm an offensive person. I'm an offensive person because when I grew up playing ball, I was a defensive person. I see those things where I could get backdoored. I see those things where looks like they're setting me up or trying to pull me away from the basket or trying to, set up plays around me. And I used to see that. I only became an offensive person because I started playing people taller than me where they already had a center. And if I played on a team, I need to learn. I need to know how to dribble. I need to know how to shoot. I need to know how to pass. I had to learn that. Okay. But defense, that's just kind of second nature to me. That's just kind of second nature to me. And from what I'm seeing with, as you said, people who are getting paid bukus of money. See, with me, if you are an NBA player, you are in an elite club. You are in an elite club. They are paying you for your expertise. So I'm holding you to a higher standard when I watch you. Hometown team, other teams, whatever, all-star team, finals team, I'm holding you to a higher standard because they're paying you, and that payment is emphasizing your higher standard that you're supposed to be at. I don't see nothing that I would ever have my son emulate. When my grandson comes finally, whenever that is, I would never have him emulated. I would be showing him tape and pictures of 70s basketball, 80s basketball, 90s basketball, because these jokers here, and my team is included. I mean, my team is at the top of the list as far as defensive and offensive deficiencies. Just having just basic basketball acumen. Okay.
I've said that so many times on previous shows, John. Missed shots is not defense. Hoping that somebody misses a shot is not defense. It never will be defense. You'll never be able to convince me of that. Okay, just saying. I've been playing basketball for 40 years. I just played a full tournament on Saturday and came right back on Sunday, full court all the way through. I could not get away with any of these things and think I'm gonna get a chance to play the next game because people want to win. We're not out there. When you're in your 40s and 50s and stuff, you're not out there for no exercise. You're out there to win. You can exercise at home. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to tell you see what I'm saying? Because we all competitive. We're gonna keep competing until we can't compete. So when you are not getting back on defense, you're not calling those screens out. You're not even trying to team. Like sometimes you block out, you're not going to get the rebound, but your teammate might get the rebound. That's team basketball right there. You see what I'm saying? When you get picked off of somebody and they go on a fast break, hey, get my man, I got yours. That's team basketball. You see what I'm saying? When you can say at the beginning of the game, hey guys, are we switching on everything or are we staying with man? Or are we going to just kind of see how it goes? Because we're looking to see who got picked on the other team. Be like, okay, yeah, center, point guard, shooting guard. We're mapping that out. Who's the best on that team and who's going to stick them first? Chris, you think you can hold them for a minute? I'll try, but doggone, that's Allen Iverson out there, man. Like I'm old. I can't hang with Allen. I'm playing guys 20 years younger than me. But you know what? If I'm caught with him on a possession, my job at that point, I got to stay with him until I can switch back. That's my job. To not let you score. And we don't have that mentality on the Hawks right now. And that's Dyson has it, of course, a little bit. You know, Zach's coming in there, but it's not cumulative, and that's coaching again. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I want to do real quick, John. I want to take a little bit of a break before we go into the third and fourth quarters. I was going to try to play my Women in Business Show commercial, but I got to check to see if that was the reason that I forgot that maybe that could be why YouTube slapped my last video, maybe because of the theme music on that. So I'm going to just replay my intro, but I'm going to be right back so I can just take a little bit of a break. It's 1:46, just so you know. So everybody, so far, hopefully you've enjoyed around the ATL as we talked about the OKC game on Sunday. We got John Harris as a special guest. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be coming with the third and fourth quarters real soon, but we'll be right back. What's going on, everybody? This is Chris, IMTN Worldwide Radio, and this is Around the ATL Side Notes. This is hour number 2 of the show. We're talking OKC versus the Atlanta Hawks from last Sunday, and just doing a full breakdown, shot for shot. How did OKC score all of those points, and what exactly happened? Rather than what you thought happened, here's the reality, shot for shot. That's what I'm showing. When we get a chance, make sure you are following us on YouTube. It's right there scrolling down, IMTN Worldwide Radio on YouTube. You can also follow on Instagram or Facebook. There you go, IMTN Worldwide Radio. You can also follow myself on Twitter, Intellect ATL, and my regular co-host, Jordan Jackson, at Jordan23 ATL. Make sure, again, you keep Jordan in your thoughts and prayers as his mom is going through cancer currently. And hopefully she'll be well very, very, very soon. We do have a guest host tonight. We got Mr. John Harris. So go ahead and bring him back in. Looks like he's ready to go. What's up, John?
All right, let's get to the second half. Jeez.
All right. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. When I have to pull these, it's hard, John. I'm just telling you because, like I said, when I did those, again, I did the Chicago Bulls playing game. I did that 157-point debacle that the Pacers put on us. The Timberwolves game from last year at the end of the season, where we let Ant-Man hit those last two shots, didn't even double team. We just let Kobe Buffkin try to stop him. You know what I'm saying? We lost that game against the Charlotte Hornets. Trey's first game back from injury. We had a lead, 92-77 in the fourth quarter. We lost that game 115-114. Trey sat the fourth quarter and we lost that game. You know what I'm saying? The Miami Heat game we lost in double overtime by 6 points. We gave up 18 threes to the Miami Heat. Game before that, Denver Nuggets. We gave up 23 threes to the Denver Nuggets on 56% shooting from three. Game before that, we lost to Dallas Mavericks. Gave up 18 threes in that game. Trae Young didn't play none of those 3 games. We gave up 18, 23, and 18 threes in 3 straight games. And then the last game that we won last year, which was against the Detroit Pistons, a 68-loss team, we won that game, but we gave up 50 points to Malachi Flynn. Trae Young didn't have nothing to do with that because he didn't play that game either. So, again, where is the blame on all the players that allowed those things to happen without Trae on the floor? Because without Trae on the floor, I would think, per what everybody says, we should lock down everybody, right, John? We shouldn't allow 80 points in the game. We're supposed to be so good, without Trae because he's so terrible. But again, the game film don't lie. And that's why I'm doing these to show people I know what you think, I know how you feel, but you need to look at this first and then come up with a different opinion. So that all being said, that's what we're doing tonight, shot for shot. We just did the first half, which was, it was a close game. Again, it was a 89-86 game. We were up. Well, actually, 88 because they hit the.
We were down by 1.
1 point lead, actually. So here's the first shot of the third quarter. So, again, I attribute points if you give up a bucket one-on-one, obviously, right? Or if you left your man and your man's ended up scoring easily, that's your point, Now, if somebody does come for help defense and they try to prevent the shot, then that's that person's point. So I'm just letting people know how I attribute some of these points. So Zach has Williams. JJ has Dort. Nobody talks again. JJ sees Dort setting a pick on Dyson, and he does nothing. I want you to watch that, okay? Dyson sees the pick coming. He could have come up on SGA and made it through. You alluded to that earlier, right? Here's one of them, right? This is what I would do. I'm not going to just let you set a screen if I don't got to. I'm either going to hedge, I'm going to push you out the way, or I'm going to call it out so we can switch, But anyway, but that doesn't happen either. Clint is on check. Zach this whole time wasn't looking at Williams. His head has been turned, watching what doesn't matter, okay? Chet dribbles one time, and Williams cuts to the basket. Now, at this point, I would have given the points to Zach, but like I said, JJ is there in the paint and has a chance to contest the shot and doesn't. And again, we don't have no situational awareness on this team for some reason. I don't know why. We watch the ball too much. Again, it doesn't matter what's going on behind you to an extent. Stay with your man and make sure he don't score. Because the moment you do this, all kind of bad stuff is happening behind you now because you left your man, right? So here's this play, first shot, third quarter.
The Hawks were the more physical team for the majority of that happened. Once we picked up our physicality, things started going on just like this.
Boy, how about Jalen Williams? He had a couple of dunks there, Michael. He had that final play right before.
I'm going to play it again. The
Hawks were the more physical team for the majority of that happened. Once we picked up our physicality, things started going on just like this.
Boy, how about Jalen Williams? He had a couple of dunks there, Michael. He had that final play right before.
Jalen Johnson right there did another pirouette all the way around, left his man all the way around. And then he's staring at the person he could become the help defender on, and he just comes in and dunks it. And again, you got to contest it. You can't just let people just keep scoring in the paint. Again, we haven't been winning like that, allowing those points in the paint like that. So what do you think about the first shot of the first half, or the second half, John?
More of the same that I was seeing in the first half. I mean, that Ole defense, without you, nobody committed to anybody. Nobody committed to anybody. And the zone defense, man, I wish the NBA had never allowed it. I wish they had never allowed it, because I'm seeing laziness. I'm seeing lackadaisical. I'm seeing, I hope he miss it. That's what I'm seeing.
I say on my show all the time, John, is that instead of us contesting the shot, we would rather watch the shot go in the basket. I do that so much on my shows. You have to go back and watch. But that's exactly what I say. And again, that can't be accepted. But it is for some reason for us. So.
Well, and it's accepted not only by the players on the floor, it's accepted by the coaching staff, and it's accepted by the fans. Because I'm trying to think of what team it was that was shooting. It might have been Boston. Oh, they shooting 80% in the first half or the first quarter, whatever. Well, they'll cool off. Really? Really? That's all you have to offer me as far as solving the problem? They'll cool off. Your job is to cool them off. Your job is to cool them off by any means necessary. Okay? I mean, rough them up, bump them. When they take the shot, make them uncomfortable. Now, you got some great shooters on the team. However, they miss from time to time, because the old adage still is true. You live by the jump shot, you die by the jump shot. Okay? Yes, they might cool off, but just like you just said, Chris, a missed shot does not mean that you played defense. They just missed the shot. Okay? They just missed the shot, especially if you're up there like you watching the radar at the airport. Whoop, there went one. Oh, there go another one. And you standing there and, you're doing like a bunch of kittens watching a game of ping pong and not doing anything about it.
Defense is twofold: effort, knowledge, technique, training, things of that nature. You got to know what to do. Effort sometimes can mitigate that, though, because if you're just hustling, that's half the battle right there, because now you're running towards an open spot. You're running towards a man. You're staying with your man. You're going through screens and pushing, fighting through. Like we screen ourselves half the time. It's so disgusting. I'm just telling you, it ain't cool what I see. But let me just run. I'm going to segue real quick to that Denver game I was talking about that Trae Young did not play in, so you can't blame him for any of this. The Nuggets beat the Hawks 142-110, okay? They shot 60% from the floor for the game in that game. 56% from three. They hit 23 three-pointers. They had 48 points in the paint. They had 24 fast break points in that game. KCP had 24 points in that game. All jumpers, wide open. MPJ had 20. Joker had triple-double. There was that Minnesota game where Rudy Gobert had 25 points on 10 for 10 shooting. I don't think Trae Young plays Rudy Gobert in this at all. Somebody can correct me, right? So, like, how did that happen? Like, why did they win that game by 3 points and he had 25 like he's Hakeem Olajuwon out there? You see, it's those things that I'm like, why don't people look at that rather than just trying to blame one person for everything when it's actually not his reason?
Not him.
It just isn't. You know what I'm saying? So, that being said, let's go to the next shot. This is an easy one. I'm going to just play it. I'm not going to say nothing on this one.
Yeah, worst position possible on a shot that's short. Wiggins get it outside where Chet Holmgren is spotted up. He's got himself another three.
John, What did Chet do to get open there, sir?
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely. I mean, Clint, okay, if that's your man, you supposed to be in his hip pocket. You supposed to be in his hip pocket. When he reaches for his car keys, he's supposed to feel your hand in his pocket. Okay? You playing way off of this man at 7 feet. I haven't seen a 7-footer run a 40-yard dash in 4.2 or 4.3, not yet in life. Okay? Wembanyama, you just drafted, is not running 94 feet in 2 seconds or
his
3
wingspan
seconds.
might make up for it a little bit, but still, it'd be asking a lot.
But I mean, he's gonna look like a praying mantis. All right, and his dribbles, the way that he dribbles, waiting for the ball to come back up to where he's comfortable dribbling it, he is not going to cover a lot of ground quickly. This Chet out here, he's playing, man, Capella playing like the man might blow by.
I'm telling you.
That's the way he playing. You play that far off somebody when you're scared that, it's just like playing defensive back in football. Okay.
But you know what, though, John? Let me say something. I'm gonna play this again though, because look where he's playing. You say like he might get blown by, but look where Clint started though before Chet got the ball. Let me play it again.
Yeah, worst position possible on a shot that's short. Wiggins get it outside where Chet Holmgren is spotted up. He's got himself another 3.
If the ball wasn't passed over there, Capella wouldn't have moved.
He never looked at him again. This is a coaching issue. The back of our heads is to our guys all the time. That can't be. That just can't be acceptable. But for whatever reason, our coaching staff says, it's good, and we're losing because we're straight losing because of that. Like literally, we are. Third shot, third quarter. SGA drives on JJ. Dyson comes over to help. Clint actually slides over to contest, but then doesn't contest. He actually moves out the way. Believe it or not, I'm going to play it. Watch it for yourself.
Gaining some momentum here.
A little stutter step to hesitation. SGA down the lane. Bisect in the middle. And a tough finish.
I just get every time I played it before, I get mad every single time. You just don't know, man. I almost didn't even want to upload that one. I'll play it again in case people didn't see it.
Gaining some momentum here.
A little stutter step to hesitation. SGA down the lane. Bisect in the middle. And a tough finish.
He jumped out the way.
Hunter does it a lot again in the post on layups coming in. They'll pretend like they're blocking out before the shot even goes out. They're blocking out their man instead of coming up to contest. I mean, this is stuff that they really do game after game after game. And unless you break it down like this, you don't notice it because the game is, But when you do it,
Chris, I definitely didn't notice that. I didn't notice that until I saw that right there. Boy,
again, all I'm doing is this is why I wish more people would give me a chance and watch what I talk about. Because again, I'm not making up anything that's not actually happening on the court, and I'm not. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm just bringing out what actually is happening per each player on our team. And if it happens that one particular player gives up more points than somebody else, I'm only saying it because it actually happened, not because I want it to happen or not want it to happen, AKA. Because if there's a game where Trey gives up 25 points in a game, I'm going to bring that up too if I ever get to it. So far, I haven't.
Well, you can't get to it with that going on.
The closest I think Trey has given up that many points was that Pacers game, but everybody gave up points in that Pacers game. They scored 157 freaking points, right? Hunter was out there. He didn't stop Siakam. I'm just saying. Trey ain't supposed to stop Siakam and Miles Turner, is he? So when Trey has to switch on Miles Turner and Siakam sometimes, he's probably giving up some points just because of the height thing, right?
Right.
But they weren't attacking Trey in that game. Trey was giving up some points, but it wasn't because he was getting attacked. They were just hitting some shots. Everybody gets some shots up sometimes, but he was defending his person, and sometimes you just get scored on. But he didn't give up 57 points in that game by himself, is my point. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, my God.
And that right there, again, I want people to see that, but not a lot of people are watching for some reason. And I'm just pointing out, this is reality. This is not the Matrix. This is not artificial intelligence. I am not changing what NBA.com is posting. Thanks. Shout out to NBA.com again. All you got to do is go to Google, NBA.com, put in the date, and you can pull this up play by play yourself. I'm just doing it for you. It takes a long time. I just need people to recognize that one player is not the issue here. That's all I want people to see.
Chris, I need to ask a favor of you.
Want me to download that and send it to you?
No. You pointed this out. You isolated it. You did the work. You need to post this play in both of the Hawks groups and just ask a question, a prefacing question. What the hell is this? Watch Clint Capella.
I already tried doing that. I actually took the time and posted the whole Chicago Bulls review that I did.
Okay, well, okay. And the reason why I'm saying this one particular play, you got people. Okay.
Up and down.
Well, no. The youth of today is short attention span theater. Okay, I mean Twitter is so popular for one reason. They want you to encapsulate everything that you want to say in 214 characters. Okay. Now, that one play, if you post that one play and just ask the question, what the hell is Clint Capella doing?
I'm going to get some strange answers, you know.
Hey, just post that.
Time warp, you know.
I mean, why in the world was the floor getting hot under your foot? You had to move.
As a man, John, if I was to do that on the court in real time, I would just have to just pack up my stuff and leave. If I was in Miami and playing full court on Miami Beach, if I was in Queens, New York, I would definitely have to run out of there because they'd be shooting out there, right? So
yeah.
But why is it acceptable for that to happen in front of all of us, for paying fans? Although we didn't go to OKC for that, but it happens in Atlanta all the time. And what?
Your team does that. Your team does that on a game by game basis. Okay, it happens in Atlanta, it happens in New York. Your team, okay, man, that was oh boy. Woo!
It gets worse, by the way. I haven't even.
Oh man, I don't know. I need a drink now. I can't stand much more.
That was just the third field goal in the third quarter for OKC. Fourth shot, SGA takes a contested three. It was contested. Ball is in the air, and nobody blocks out anybody. Remember one of the things, blocking out. So, I shouldn't say it like that, but in the end, Clint doesn't block out Chet. He passes it out to a cutting Williams, and Clint is still there, and there's a layup that happens. So I'll show this real quick.
That's why he led the NBA in steals last year, a season ago, while being the second leading scorer.
Now he's got the isolation, pulls up for the three. Holmgren able to volleyball it to himself. There's the cut from J-Dub. He's going to score over Capella on the scoop.
That's a tough steak to swallow right there.
Again, you might not get the rebound by blocking out, but maybe one of your teammates will. And then you got to contest. It's coming to you. You got to foul. If you can't block, you can't let them score. Like that is big man rule number 1. They can't score.
You can't come in here.
Like, you might get fouled out. Okay, fine, but doggone it, why are you gonna keep letting them score though? Like we got backups on backups, but we put Roddy at center if we got to, whatever has to happen, but you can't keep letting these people score in the paint. So 5th shot, 3rd quarter. This is an easy one. I'm gonna just play this one.
Daniels just really aggravating SGA out on the perimeter. Shot clock hits 3. He'll pull up for the 3, right over Daniels and knock it down.
Sometimes you hit a good shot. Again, you heard the commentary. Dyson is giving it to him, but he's just hitting the shots. He's really good. So, you give the brother that good shot, come back down the court, do something, right? You got to equal out the production. If you're giving up points, you got to give some points. I always say that. If I give up a basket, I got to come down. I'm either going to get an assist to somebody, I'm going to set a screen for an assist, a wide open shot, or I'm going to get the ball down low and I'm going to score. Or I'll take a 3 and hit it. But I'm not going to just let people just keep scoring on me and nothing happen. Anyway, 6th shot, another fast break. Now, you got to pay attention to this one. So Dane gets the ball. Okongwu is on him. Vit is on Isaiah Joe. Dane goes to set a pick on Vit. Now, again, with communication, Vit could have switched over to Dane and O could have stayed on Joe. Or Okongwu could have simply backed up a little bit and let Dane just come through with that pick to disallow it, right? And that's it. You just keep playing. Instead, again, Okongwu goes to the ball handler, as do all of our bigs. Dane goes to the bucket. Roddy is there because he wasn't guarding anybody again. He never moves, though, even though he saw Dane coming. He moves late, and you'll see what happens. But again, he saw the whole play develop and didn't slide over, is my point on this one.
Thunder going small here. Usman Jang got right back. Nice pass. Isaiah Joe setting up beautifully. That little slip pass, and Jang's got himself a dunk.
We concede buckets. That was a concession. That was it's another day in the office, another day in the neighborhood, giving up a bucket in the paint. Can't do nothing about it. We don't know what to do. We're not sure. I'm not attacking. I'm pointing things out to say it got to change. Somehow it has to change. And again, if it ain't the coaches, it got to be the players changing, or we got to get other players. And we would have to get other players that know how to play defense better overall to make up for this, since we're not going to get coached from the bench. Because it's obvious it's not. That right there has happened how many times in just this game? It's going to keep happening too, by the way. Okay? So that's why I say it can't be. This is 3rd quarter. We're still in this game. Like, for real. Because here's another one. It's 82-81. We're up this next shot. So Vit has Williams. Garrison has Joe. Joe sets a pick on Vit, but actually doesn't set a pick. We get a lot of ghost picks on us, okay? We don't know what a pick looks like, apparently, okay? Williams drives to his left, and for some reason, Garrison goes with him. Nobody says nothing. Nobody talks. So Joe goes to the top of the key. Watch this.
Showcasing a little more of his game.
Yeah, he's got a nice touch. He plays inside, too. He's very physical.
Excellent look on the outside for Isaiah Jones. Buries the 3.
Garrison needs to go home right there. I'm sorry, Garrison. You're cool and all, but he does that all the time. Is that bad, John, or is it okay? I'm just saying. It's like,
cause see why? Show that again. Show that again.
What shot is that?
Please.
Showcasing a little more of his game.
Yeah, he's got a nice touch. He plays inside, too. He's very physical.
Excellent look on the outside for Isaiah Jones. Buries the 3.
There's no explanation for that. That's just stupid basketball. Why does it take two of you?
John, it happens. John, you just don't know how many times it happens game after game, and then you look at the stat sheet and you look at our points in the paint given up. You look at our second chance points given up. You look at how many threes the other team hit against us, and you see all of these things shot for shot. And when you see it game after game after game after game, this is game 15 I reviewed, John. There's a lot of footage that I pulled up, and this is what's happening. This is why we're losing, and everybody wants to absolve the whole entire team except for Trae Young. And again, how many times have I actually mentioned Trae Young's name so far in this particular game? So far, this is the least amount of times I've named Trae Young in any game I've done so far. Okay, I'm just being real right now. It's not. So, that all being said, here's the 8th shot.
Locked and loaded. He's got 14 points. J-Dub stops on a dive, pulls up and sticks it right outside the free throw line.
Nothing to say about that one, really. Next shot.
Nope. Nobody steps into his chest. Nobody goes forward into.
Basics of basketball, John. That's all I'm saying. So, again, why do we ball watch on our team? Watch Garrison leave his man again on the drive. O is there. I'm going ahead and say the words again. We're not doing defense right there. It's pretend defense at best, okay? So JJ has also left his man, okay? 3 people are around Chet now. Chet passes to Wallace. Wallace goes by JJ. Dyson comes up but can't stop him. Okongwu is on SGA now. Turns and sees Wallace coming down the lane, and he doesn't move either. Garrison is there, doesn't move either. So I'm going to show you all this one.
Well, when you start going on the road, something. There's Cason Wallace under control, got to the rim with the left hand.
I'll play it again.
Well, when you start going on the road, something. There's Cason Wallace under control, got to the rim with the left hand.
We don't have the concept of help defense. See, one thing that John Collins was good for was help defense. John's blocking your shot or getting fouled, but he ain't going to just let you do that all game long, right? And so with him not being here, there's a big hole, right? So again, if you don't have the coaching to tell you what to do, you need somebody who actually cares about what's coming down the lane there and has the wherewithal and the knowledge to say, hey, guys, pick up, or hey, guys, you need to slide over, and not just point. You got to talk it out. Again, nobody can hear your finger, again, unless they got something in the NBA that I don't know about. I mean, but pointing is not defense, folks. Staring at people is not defense. You got to move, but not get out the way move like Ludacris. You got to move towards the action. You know, some of y'all might be in the military, right? You got to move towards the danger, right? We back away from danger a whole heck of a lot, unfortunately. I'm just saying. So that was actually the last shot of the third quarter. It is 89-86 OKC going into the fourth quarter. And again, I'm just throwing it out there. How many times have I mentioned Trae? Sometimes I want to, but I can't really put it on Trae when it's other people's faults. I'm only giving the points to who actually is the reason. In every game I've done so far, sometimes it's Hunter more than somebody. Sometimes it's Bogey. Bogey gives up a lot of points, which is why I say he can't start. He gives up a lot of points. But anyway, nightmare. But looking at footage, but it's not just one player is my point. So here it is, the fourth quarter. It's 89-86. I'm going to say that again. Y'all remember what the final score was, right? In fact, I'll scroll up real quick just to remind y'all what the final score was somehow. The final score was 128 to 104. It's just unbelievable that I just said that, but it actually happened. So let me get back to the fourth quarter. Here's the first shot, fourth quarter. Pretty easy.
Capella was able to slip inside for that offensive rebound. There was Caruso. Plus the foul. Cutting across the lane. He's got a chance at a three-point play.
I forgot that they started playing John Cena music after that, I swear. Second shot, fourth quarter. SGA comes down the court. Chet sets a screen. Clint goes to SGA. Here we go.
Shea used that big body screen from Holmgren. Holds up the baseline. That's a shot that he is so comfortable with.
Now here's what will make some people happy. I'm gonna go ahead and just play it. I'm not gonna say no.
Again, a possession deep in the shot clock. Good defense, Casey Wallace. He'll send it up to Shea. Down behind the defense, he'll put it down.
Those are Trey's 2 points right there for sure. Turnover, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for all the people who hate Trey, there you go.
One, because okay. Now, Trae Young, him and DeJounte Murray, they are not good ball handlers. I'm just gonna say it. They are not good ball handlers. DeJounte Murray, he used to stretch dribble. And when I say that, when you dribble, you're supposed to keep the ball close to you when you're dribbling in traffic. When you're dribbling in traffic, you're supposed to keep dribbling the ball close to you. He stretches out. He tries to do crossovers and hand to hand, left hand to right hand, to right hand to left hand, 6 feet in front of him. Trae Young does the same thing. Okay. Now, when you do that, all you got to do is just stick your hand down in there and you got to steal very easily. You got to steal very easily doing that. And since you're going up against a larger opponent, your chances of stopping them on a fast break are close to none unless you get wide open and get in front of them. You got to get wide open, get in front of them, cut them off, and make them do something else. Affect the shot down below the waist. That's what you got to do. But show that again. Now, and you tell me whether Trae Young was running at full speed trying to make up for that ball getting taken from him.
Again, a possession deep in the shot clock. Good defense, Casey Wallace. He'll send it up to Shea. Down behind the defense, he'll put it down.
He wasn't. He didn't.
Well,
he reaching for a steal.
No excuse at all. I mean, he could have fouled him, and it would have been a 3-point play or whatever. He knew he had effed up or whatnot. But still no excuse. And again, that's why, like, usually when I attribute if it's a fast break off of a turnover, if it's a one on none, that's definitely always going to be on the person who turned the ball over. But like I said, if we did get people back and we still gave up the points, now I got to look at, okay, you could have stopped them and then you didn't. Because again, people make mistakes. We got to go and mitigate that mistake by playing some defense.
Right.
For whatever reason, we just don't. Our track record is just very poor on that. That was definitely Trey's fault right there, and he turned it over. He did have some turnovers in this game, but they didn't score on all of his turnovers. At the end of the day, as far as that goes, I pointed that out earlier in the show. But that was Trey's definitely one-on-one. He gave those points up. We're in the fourth quarter though. We're still in the game. Fourth shot. Trey has SGA on this one. Okongwu has Caruso. Zach has Dort. SGA, he gets past Trae Young. So Zach leaves his man. Now, I'm going to say it like this. I don't think he needed to in this case. Okongwu is in the paint, and the only reason SGA stopped at this point was to pass it to Dort because Zach had left his man. And this is why I keep saying You need to stay with your assignment, because when you don't, you create opportunities for the other team that weren't apparent at first. And we do it all the time for the teams in the NBA instead of making them do something different. You see what I'm saying? And we just won't learn. I don't know why we won't. But here's the play. Fourth shot, last quarter.
Just cannot discount the defense, though, with Case and Wallace. 2 big plays. Force some turnovers. There's a sidestep 3. Dort on the way. He buries it.
OKC is not going to miss those. You leave your man for no reason. Like, there was no reason for him to leave his man right there. You got your help defense in the post. O was there. But when Zach left, SGA says, oh, shoot, Dort is open. And then you got O trying to leave all the way from the post all the way out there. That was never going to work either, right? But again, we create mismatches. People get beat. SGA is like a really good player. My gosh. Like, Trey gets past people all the time too. But you know what the other teams do? They switch. And then Trey just makes a crazy, stupid pass because he's as good. But what we do is the opposite of that. We get out of people's way, you know. We just say, hey, come on. Anyway, fifth shot, last quarter. Again, nobody gets on assignments. Nobody communicates. Garrison is sitting in his favorite place again. Dort is his man. All he has to do is guard Dort. He even points to him in this possession. And how many times have I said pointing is not defense? Can you hear a point, right? Unless you're Kevin Hart, right? Anyway, this is why I say at this point, just fire everybody. Just fire the whole team, coaching staff, everybody at this point, okay? Mitchell drives, Dort dives behind Garrison, and he gets the pass for a dunk. Fifth shot, last one.
Holmgren, his return. As Mitchell gives it up, there is Dort, the beneficiary on the other end.
And what makes me mad is Garrison has a nerve to shrug his shoulders like it wasn't his fault. I'm going to play it again.
Holmgren, his return. As Mitchell gives it up, there is Dort, the beneficiary on the other end.
And Roddy, why are you swinging down there? Why are you swinging at the ball down? You're at the basket. Why are you swinging at the ball down there?
Let me type a new word here. That's not defense, y'all. Participation defense is not defense. Somebody's gonna listen to me one of these years. I don't know. Maybe this will be the year. But like I said, that's why I wish a lot more people would watch, just so you can just see I'm not going crazy for no reason. I'm showing you what's really happening, and it's not cool at all on any galaxy, dimensional plane, or anything. This is not acceptable. We can't win when we're doing this game after game, quarter after quarter, possession after possession. Because see, now we're losing. Because again, if we're not hitting shots and we're hoping the other team misses shots and we're not doing anything to make them miss shots, we can't win games like that. And especially when we have injuries, right? Now you can start throwing the injuries back out there. We're shorthanded and stuff. So you're giving up all these points for what reason? That's what makes me mad. But again, people will just wash all that away and just assume, oh, well, it's Trey's fault. But I'm like, shoot, Trey shot 50% in this game, didn't he? Right? Yeah, he had 2 turnovers, and they did score 11 points off of those turnovers, but those 11 points were the reason we lost this game. I'm showing y'all the reason we actually lost this game right now, okay? And it's getting worse. Seventh shot, last quarter. Williams has the ball now. Chet picks Zach on the screen. Okongwu could have caught the switch, and he could have dived hard to Williams on this one. Instead, Okongwu kind of hesitates. Okongwu could have also backed off of Chet, anticipating the screen, and not give Williams the lane. But again, I want you to watch what happens, what Williams does. Dyson can't help because he was following SGA. JJ, again, Jalen Johnson, sees Williams coming. He has time to contest. 7th shot, last quarter.
He didn't come in with the same fanfare as Wemby, but shown a little something here in his first career start. We've seen J-Dub show a lot over his career.
So I showed it. Okongwu really stopped. I said hesitate. I was kind of being nice, I guess. He stopped. And then again, JJ was there. I'm going to play it again.
He didn't come in with the same fanfare as Wemby, but shown a little something here in his first career start. We've seen J-Dub show a lot over his career.
Sorry. There's not a lot of effort there. Again, that could have just been stopped by just simple communication at the top, right? Switch. That would have ended that craziness. But besides that, okay, let's say you don't do that. JJ was there. JJ had time. JJ saw everything coming up from the top. And all you had to do is come up and contest. Foul him, block shot, whatever. But none of those things happened, and we gave up another bucket in the paint.
I mean, now play that again. Play that again because I wanted to look for something.
He didn't come in with the same fanfare as Wemby, but shown a little something here in his first career start. We've seen J-Dub show a lot over his career.
Oh, boy. Because, see, I put that on Okongwu. I put that definitely on Okongwu because now JJ could have come in, but if JJ had come in too early, that man was open in the corner.
You got to rotate. I'm sorry. Again, at a certain point, you got to throw all of that out the window and say, we got to do the basics and just hope for the best. But we're giving them buckets, though, like this.
Right. And see, and see, that's where I blame Double O, because that hesitation when he was supposed to follow that man all the way to the basket and help contest the shot. If he had tried to kick it out, JJ was in semi-good position to try to stop the pass. But he did not commit to guarding the man in the corner. He didn't commit to doing so. He's standing out there in no man's land. You know, like he's got the speed of the Flash that I can get out there and block that shot, or I can get out there and contest that shot, or I'm fast enough to go inside, but you didn't move. You didn't move. You know, you just out there, man. Good grief!
So we got.
I'm getting the education. I'm getting the education tonight. I just want you to know. I'm getting the education.
I'm not. Again, I'm not doing it to be malicious. It's just I just want my team to have a chance to win an NBA championship, and we really actually have enough talent to compete. And this stuff is holding us back. Points in the paint, second chance points, the fast break points, and the 3-pointers that we give up is holding us back because we can score with anybody. Scoring has never been an issue. Injuries or not, we can always hit some shots. But hoping for other teams to miss shots enough for us to win games, it never works. You know, so I almost skipped a shot. Let me go ahead and play this one. It's an easy one.
Especially after coming off that 2-game road trip.
Holmgren taking what the defense gives him. That goes up and rocks the rim.
So, yeah, that happened. Nice shot. Again, teamwork. Nobody communicates. At the start of this play, Trey has been put on the floor by Caruso. I don't know how it happened. Somebody will have to go back and tell me exactly what happened before the play started. Caruso sets a pick on SGA. Nobody calls it out. Remember, Trey was on the floor. So now we got a mismatch somewhere just because Caruso put him on the floor. Okay. JJ is the closest to be able to rotate, but doesn't. You saw Trey get knocked down. He has to move and then hope everybody else rotates. The Hawks never do this, and teams know that we're not going to rotate. Okay. SGA hits a 3 because of it. Now, I want you to look at this too. Zach didn't look to rotate. Okay. And really, maybe he's too far away. I don't know. The shot is not on Trey because, again, he's the one who got knocked down in the first place. All right. but nobody else said anything. Nobody else did anything. All right. By any reasonable basketball metric, you got to pick up man. That's the job. If you're on the court, your job is to defend somebody. If your man gets picked off, you got to replace. Right? It's just like if you're in the army, if you're in the war and your man goes down, somebody got to go back and pick up that space that's empty all of a sudden, right? So why don't we do that? But here we go.
That the defenders have done, Mike, on Trae Young. There's a three. On the wing from SGA. The timeout call by Atlanta.
Trae gets knocked down, and we three. I couldn't have gotten away with that. If I saw my man go down, I know somebody's not on this man all of a sudden over here because a pick just happened. Somebody got to go. It doesn't matter if I got to leave my man. I got to hope somebody picks up my man because I'm going out there to try to block a shot now because I'm still kind of quick and I got the wingspan. But I got to hope someone picks up me because if I get out there, if nobody picked up my man, they could pass it down low, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that mentality on our team. I don't get it. And again, it goes back to coaching as far as I'm concerned because, again, if you can't depend on your players to know, you got to teach them. And if you're not going to teach them, then what are we even doing? Like, let's just forfeit the season and just go create a player or whatever, like let's go to Meta and ask, hey, Meta, can we create a basketball team? What are we doing? It's frustrating to see this play after play after play. So 10th shot, last quarter. I still got 4 more shots to go. They hit a lot of shots in this quarter. Off a block, okay? Then a loose ball right after that because Zachary almost had it, but he didn't get it. SGA gets the ball. He gets past Dyson. Zach gets all the way back, but he's not able to stop SGA dunking the ball.
Young gave it up to Daniels. Shea came over, got swatted by Holmgren. Ball pops out. Shea takes it away from Daniels. All the way to the other end to throw it down.
See, Zach cares a little bit. You see the block? Zach got it. He lost it. SGA got it. Zach, vroom, all the way back. You couldn't stop him, but he was there, though.
Mm-hmm.
If we did that, I'd be happy. If everybody could do that all the time, not just some of the time, not a quarter of the time, but all the time. Because if we did that, we wouldn't give up 30 points in fast breaks or 24 points or 17 points. It doesn't matter. We shouldn't give up all the fast break points that we give up almost every game because of effort or lack of it. You see what I'm saying? This next shot is also pretty easy. So I'm gonna just play this one too. Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, yeah. 11th shot, last quarter.
More defense. Leading to Holmgren on the run out. He'll take it to the rim, takes a little contact. How about that scoop and score?
I mean, that could have been.
And there was a man in the corner, wide open, unguarded.
Nobody says nothing. And the people just take for granted. Again, we're just this is what we do on fast breaks typically. And then we might, every now and again, might actually see who's around us every now and again, but hardly do that either. And again, nobody talks. Nobody knows who's on anybody. It's the most insane thing how we get away with this, and it happens every game. And we give up stuff like that. That was a layup. That was a one-man fast break layup, and we had people back. But anyway, 12th shot. Again, people won't stay with their man off of a drive. Wallace gets a pass and shoots a 3. Okay, so I'm gonna play this one real quick.
Just can you put together the energy, the effort for one more night? As Jason Wallace lines up that 3-ball in that corner pocket.
Pretty easy when Muhammad Gay is so far off away from his man and just let them. You see, I'm gonna play it again, but again, that can't be defense. Who is teaching these guys to stay 30 feet away from their guy in the corner? Because that's what all of our guys do. Almost all of them. Garrison especially. Bogey does it too. You see what I'm saying? They just stand in the paint, 30 feet away from their guy in the corner. I'm gonna play it one more time.
You know, just can you put together the energy, the effort for one more night? As Jason Wallace lines up that 3-ball in that corner pocket.
Fish in a barrel.
It's interesting that you mentioned scouting report. The NBA knows what we're doing, and the coaches tell the guys, "Hey guys, they're always going to motion this way. So if you just dribble once, their whole team's going to go this way."
Chris, you froze up. Oh man, what a time for the internet to mess up. I don't know whether you can hear me or not, but you have frozen. And well, your counter is going, but you have frozen.
John, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Man, I don't know what happened there. I was about to get really upset that I lost the whole show there. I forgot what I was saying now, though.
You were talking about how they sometimes they fade away from people, and sometimes they just turn and look.
Oh yeah. So again, we've gotten in such a habit to where the NBA has scouted us to say,
"Oh yeah, scouting." That's what you're talking about.
All you gotta do is dribble, drive left or right a little bit, and the whole team will slide over and leave that man wide open. You just gotta be ready to hit your shot. You just gotta be ready to hit your shot. We're gonna pass it to your catch pocket, boom, just shoot it. Because and most of the time they're not even gonna come and contest. The NBA knows it. The coaching staffs know this is how we do, and our stats at the end of the game dictates that. It shows that that's true, and that's why I do these reviews. That's the only reason I started doing this, to say this can't be happenstance. This can't just be happening by act. Let me actually break this down and actually look for myself, and that's what I'm seeing every game, game after game after game, in wins or losses, but definitely the losses. Because again, in the wins, it usually means we actually hope that the other team miss enough shots for us to outscore the other team. It wasn't because we stopped anybody. They just missed some shots and we hit enough to win the game. And that can't win you a lot of games during the regular season. It definitely can't win you a playoff. Again, in the Chicago Bulls play-in series, Trae Young didn't give up 42 points to Kobe White. He didn't give up 24 points to Vucevic, and he didn't give up 22 points to DeRozan. One player can't defend three guys by themselves. Who was guarding those other guys? Because Trae Young was actually guarding Ayo. Actually, he was guarding Caruso until Caruso got hurt. And then Ayo was playing on Trae. Trae gave up some points, but he didn't give up 60 points to three players, though. You see what I'm saying? It's like, who gave up all the other points? And what was Hunter doing in that game? 8 points, 2 rebounds. You see what I'm saying? So again, it's like people just forget about all that, but I'm like, I'm gonna show it to you then, and show it to you hardcore, because here it is. You need to wake up. This is what's happening. 3 more shots, and I'm glad that this is still working. Hopefully it recorded. I showed, which was the last one? Was it Chet?
No,
I didn't show.
No, that last one wasn't Chet. It was a man in the corner that took a shot.
Oh, Wallace. Okay, so we got 2 more. So the 13th shot is actually Flagler hitting a 3, but NBA.com does not have the video for that one, so I can't show you that one. But the last shot that OKC hit, it's a matter that I really do need to show just to kind of prove a point. So I'm gonna show it now.
Harrison Barnes. So a couple of veterans to pair with some of those young players. San Antonio, one of the youngest teams in the league last year. A little skewed now with the additions of Paul and Barnes. And Alex Reese, congratulations to him.
So, John, why was it important that I showed that last play?
That man was open as a Waffle House. And the man had to come from Dahlonega to get over there to try to intimidate the shot. And see, the thing is, oh man.
Let me show it one more time. Keep your thought. Let me show it one more time.
Harrison Barnes. So a couple of veterans to pair with some of those young players. San Antonio, one of the youngest teams in the league last year. A little skewed now with the additions of Paul and Barnes. Is Alex Reese. Congratulations to him.
So, John, the reason Garrison had to do that is because Garrison, again, was in the paint. Mm-hmm. The other part of that is it ended up being an air ball, and we didn't block out. And see, well, Chris, it was the backups. It shouldn't matter. That's everybody.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody
should know what they're supposed to do at any given time, and we do not. Which is why it's bad when we have injuries, because now we got to rely on people who also don't know what to do out there because they haven't been taught, they haven't been trained, they haven't been coached, they haven't been nurtured, they haven't been shown, here's the tape, guys. How come you didn't block out right here, Garrison? Hey, Garrison, how come you're standing in the paint? Your man is over here at the 3 standing by himself. Hey, how come you turned your back to your guy, JJ? Hey, guys, how come you didn't call on the switch? Hey, guys, how come you didn't come back on defense? Like, what's going on? I really wish I could get a press pass or something and sneak in and just watch a practice. Because I swear they can't be practicing any of this. They can't be. Because it would translate a little bit on the court. It might not translate a lot, but slow but sure, it would get better. And it hasn't. And that's what scares me. And that's why I'm going to keep doing these reviews this season until it starts changing. Because I'm gonna make sure that for history's sake, someone showed it. So that way people don't be 15 years from now be like, oh, it was always Trey's fault. No, it wasn't. What are you talking about? Can't say that. No, he has some bad days, but he don't got bad days like the rest of these guys have bad days. Their bad days are much worse. I can prove it. So here's what I will do. Zach gave up. Oh, I didn't do the math on this today. So I'll do it real quick. So Zach gave up 7 points. That's easy. JJ gave up a lot. So JJ gave up 15. Clint gave up 3 threes plus a whole bunch of layups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. He gave up about 20. Dyson gave up 9. Roddy gave up 11. O gave up 10. Again, Trae Young gave up 2 points in this game.
Just 2 points.
Oh, okay. And I did attribute the team for some points too. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Team gave up 15 points because on some of them, it was the whole team's fault. And I include Trae on that as well. Because it was a matter of nobody rotated or nobody called out nothing. It's like 3 players are involved in it. I can't just give it to one player type of a deal. So I started giving those to the team. I was giving it to the coaching staff. I said, no, I'm going to go ahead and just give them to the players too. But on some of them, it's just the whole team just broke down, and I mentioned that on some of those. But it's like JJ could be better right now, and he's not. If he's not going to hit shots, he needs to be one of our better players on the perimeter. Clint is supposed to be a stalwart. He gives up a lot of layups and he gives up a lot of threes. He gave up 3 threes. That's 9 points right there. There's games he's given up 5 threes in a game. Okay, that's 15 points right there. So when you have a close game, those things add up besides missed free throws and all the other stuff. I forgot how many points he had in his. Oh, he had 6 points in this game. He was 3 for 8. Mm-hmm. That catches up too a little bit, right? So again, the points that Roddy gave up, those were unnecessary points he gave up in this game. Like if you just subtracted Roddy and Garrison and some of these others, we win this game. Actually, we were winning this game until the 4th quarter, right? So again, it's just those things that are frustrating that you see and you don't believe that Clint just backed up and let that man lay the ball up, right? Or you just see these guys as giving up wide open three-pointers. I mean, they hit 16 threes in this game. What if they only hit 8? Like, they don't win this game otherwise. We were beating them. We were beating them shorthanded. You see what I'm saying? It's like we have the talent to play these teams, but the discipline isn't there. The want to isn't there. Again, what are the things I always say? And again, I bring these up on every show I've been doing now. Pride. You got to want to play that defense. You got to want to stop your man from scoring. You got to want to stop the ball on the fast break. You want to rotate to the open man all the time. You got to block out. Doesn't matter what happens on the shot careening off on weird angles and all that. You got to at least find where your man is when the ball is in the air, not after the fact. It's too late then. You got to contest all shots. Doesn't matter if you block it. It doesn't matter if they hit the shot anyway. It's the effort. If nobody sees that you're trying to contest a shot, why are you out there? Because you're not trying to stop nobody, right? You got to stay with your man. Stay with your assignment. If you lose your assignment, you got to pick up somebody else, but you got to call out yours. So many times on a Sunday night, again, I ain't as young as I used to be, but I'm usually the first one to get him back, and I got 3-on-1. I'm like, hey, I need some help because I already know I'm going to get there. But now I got to try to see if I can defeat the globe, try to weave now, by myself. I can't do that all the time like I used to. Communication. If we just talked on defense, we would win all of our games. We would never lose. I swear to God, we wouldn't. And last but not least, again, getting back on defense and stop over-helping. If we just stop over-helping on plays, we would win more. Again, we lost 21 games last year by 7 points or less. 21. That's your season right there. If we win half of those games, the Hawks will be in the playoffs. That's the difference. We're 2-2 now for no reason right now, right? I'm scared to look at the Washington game. I haven't looked at it yet. I'm scared. I don't even know if I want to do it at this point, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to live through it tonight, but I don't know. But again, everybody who's been watching, again, I just want y'all to know that, again, if you want to share this with an Atlanta Hawk player, okay, it's not that I don't like the Atlanta Hawks. You all know that from me by now. I'm just showing you what the reality is of us trying to get better and how we could get better rather than what people are saying is the problem that we're not winning. That's a lie. That's why I'm doing these videos. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't do these. If everybody can say, you know what, yeah, Trey is not great at defense, but neither is Hunter, neither is Bogey, and Clint sure ain't. If people would just admit that, I wouldn't be doing these videos. Wouldn't be no need to. But because everybody is focused on Trey, and how bad Trey is on defense, that's just not right when it's the whole team and it's a fixable issue. Now, again, someone having a bad shooting night and all that, that's one thing or another, whatever, it does happen. Michael Jordan has had some stinkers in his day, so has Kobe. Kobe be trying to shoot on 4 people sometimes, right? He don't be shooting 50% every game. I know Trey does not have the best efficiency, but neither did Dominique Wilkins either. No one said nothing. 42% from the floor is not that efficient in the playoffs, especially, right? 24% from 3. Know why no one said nothing to Dominique about efficiency? Because without Dominique, there are no playoffs. We never gave Dominique no help either for 12 seasons, right? Nobody was talking efficiency during the 2020 run. Going through the Knicks, going through Philly, 2 games away from the finals. No one was saying nothing as Trey was eating people alive. Were they? I don't think so. Or the Boston series, for that matter. We should have beat Boston. I'm going to keep saying, if we could have figured out a way, Hunter, to stop Tatum from scoring 27 a game or Brown from scoring 22, we beat the Boston Celtics straight up. They don't make the finals. But we couldn't. But it wasn't because of Trey out there, because Trey was beating them almost single-handedly, right? So my whole thing is, why can't we just build like the other teams and say, we're going to bring in Dame, or we're going to bring in, we're going to bring in somebody. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to bring in AD. Hey, Brian, we got you, but we're going to bring Anthony Davis over for you now. Championship, right? Like, why don't the Hawks ever do that for their guys? You know, and Atlanta has a bad sports record of doing that. They didn't do that for Matt Ryan either. We won't get into that, but I'm just saying, right? So y'all let me know if you get a chance to watch this. I know some people did kind of dip in and out during this evening show. If you get to watch this after the fact, comment. You can comment on the YouTube channel. Please let me know what you think. But John, final thoughts before we close out for tonight.
I have predicted this year's Hawks team to be 12-7 because, well, Chris, that's a whole nother show. That is a whole nother show because the question is, why didn't you bring in better people? Why have your scouts settled? Why are you about to mortgage or were about to mortgage the entire team as it was constructed last year to try to bring in one player, a Siakam? You know, we've gone through a rebuild once before. That's what got us Trae Young. We are about to do it again because of some things that were done 2 years ago. Okay, we're about to rebuild this thing again. And right now, what you have out here are people who the LA Lakers, who the Boston Celtics, who Oklahoma City even would turn their nose up on. You know, Trae Young does not have the value that he used to have. Okay. Right now, me sitting here watching this, I thought that my trip in the dentist chair yesterday was painful, but this was worse because I got an education tonight after looking at what was going on. Because, see, there were things that I would spot, but to have them all together and to see people not trying, to see people, if they know, not using what they know. If they don't know, they're not being taught. This is really a systematic collapse of all that I was ever taught about basketball. I mean, you know, I didn't get far. You know, I played in the street, played on a couple of teams, whatever. But there are things that you learn there, even out there on the street courts, that you don't do. That you can't let happen to you. You know, that no matter how tall or how small you are, that you're supposed to put forth the effort. If people see the effort being put forth, they are less likely to really castigate or excoriate you for not being able to do what it is that you need to do. You tried. You went after the shot. You tried to intimidate the shot. You tried to get the steal. You slowed the man down until the reinforcements came. You know, and a lot of times that's all you can do. Slow a man down until the reinforcements can catch up. And then those reinforcements have got to recognize that you're in trouble and come charging to the rescue.
But like I said, on the street court, you would get cut. It'd be like, well, you might get cut literally in some street courts, but at the end of the day, you'd be like, "Hey, dog, you want to play? Because dude right here, he ain't trying that hard. Like, we gotta swap you out because we out here for real, you know. Because otherwise, we're gonna have to go to the trunk, you know. You know, you can't. And again, that's where it scares me. It's just like it's a systematic failure. That's a good word. It's a systematic failure on the coaching side to say you didn't do a good enough job to instill these things year after year after year. Because again, this is not just all of a sudden. This is not just all of a sudden. This is year after year after year. And again, individually, there's things that you might pick up on and you get better at and things of that nature. But you need everybody to be able to do that at a certain point. Because if you don't, you got too many holes out there. Again, it's just like football, any team sport. When you have those holes out there, you get, what's the word? Exposed, right? On the offensive line, you don't do your job, that defensive lineman's coming through. right? It's not good. On the defensive side, if you don't do your job, that running back is going to make it through, right? You didn't make your gap, right? It's all training. That's what practices are for. That's why I say we can't be practicing it, because if we were, something would adjust. Switching, rotating, getting back on defense. I mean, something would adjust. Blocking out, for crying out loud. Like, how do you just not block out?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you like just run away from taking a charge? Like, or contesting a shot. Like, again, you can't be 26 in the lead in block shots and think that that's a Clint problem by himself. Clint blocked 1.5 shots a game. Again, I would like it to be higher than that, but it's still 1.5, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a taller person to get 7 blocks a game like Wemby. No, we don't. Or Chet, for that matter, who had like 6 blocks in this game. He had 6 blocks in this game. Okay. So if you don't have that, that means everybody else got to be doing a little bit of something too. And that's why I said that's why Dyson and Zach need to play together. Because at least with their arm length and their effort, we'll block a couple of those shots under the basket sometime where we weren't before. And that'll help us out with the points in the paint a little bit. But again, it's just cumulatively, we don't have enough. And that's what scares me. I still think we're going to have a decent season, but we got to see some incremental improvement, at least on the defensive side. And once everybody does get back again, hopefully I already know it ain't going to be for a while because everybody's hurt. Like I said, I've already applied. I'm trying to see if I can get a tryout, at this point. Because everybody's hurt, man. I'm like, I can shoot, I can rebound, I can do everything. I might only can play 7 minutes a game, but it'll be a productive 7 minutes a game. Come on, let me go. But I don't know, man. I want people to see these. Like I said, I want people to see the other breakdowns. The Nets game, you need the Hornets game for that matter. The preseason games. The games I showed last year. People need to watch that Dallas game. We can't stop Luka or Kyrie. One of the two. Trey ain't out there to mess it up. So how come Hunter and DJ can't lock somebody up? Why is PJ Washington hurting us right now? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on. Like, why did Malachi Flynn really have 50 points? I showed everybody. Nobody says nothing, but I'm like, well, I showed you what happened. And it's bad. We had to hold on in that game at home. 68 lost team. Malachi Flynn averaged 5 points a game for the season. You see what I'm saying? That one game kind of fell into the whole rest of the season for the Hawks. We lost the rest of the games for that season after that Detroit game. Happenstance? I don't think so. Right? So I appreciate you being on, John. I don't want to keep you on too much longer. I really appreciate you joining me tonight. I'm glad that you got to see this for yourself. Because again, I want people to, get to kind of see what I'm doing with this portion of side notes for around the ATL as I break these games down. I'm gonna continue to try to do it all season. We'll see. But I am everybody that's watching. I do the other sports as well in Atlanta. So I do have a Falcons game, a Falcons show that I will be doing, a concentric Falcons show very soon. So be looking out for that. By the way, John, you have a show yourself. Make sure you let people know how to find your show. What's the name of it and when do you air?
Well, the name of my show is The Eye Test, where we do break down what happened the previous week, what happened the previous Sunday, and look forward to what the very next game that's going to come on. We try to be objective, but, hey, when you're messing up, we're going to call it out. We are not nice. We are not nice. We're going to call it out. And, we're going to try to be factual. We're definitely going to try to be factual so that when we do call somebody out, it's just like Chris did. There you go. I mean, these are your biscuits you put in the oven. They're done now. So guess what? Here you go. This belongs to you.
Facts are cool, man. I that's why I did a whole show about journalistic integrity, and I've had Bob Rathman and Steve Holman and others on. Jerome Jarinovich and stuff like that, to where when you say stuff, you do got to kind of hold yourself to a different standard because you're saying it. And again, you can't just say something and just hope it sticks. And without no kind of proof or any kind of backup, whatever your thought process is. Just because you keep saying it doesn't make it true. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So for me, again, the reason I do these is say, okay, well, let's find out. Let's really find out, though. I'm showing you everything here. I'm not just going by one. I could just do a whole show just on one player, but I don't do that because that wouldn't be fair. I'm trying to be fair. You know what I'm saying? And whatever comes out of it, comes out of it. But it'll be because it was all of it. It's complete. All right. For those who still haven't done it, make sure you subscribe to the IMTN Worldwide Radio YouTube page. Please, you can follow me on Facebook or Instagram, whichever your poison is, IMTN Worldwide Radio. You can follow me on Intellect ATL on Twitter, my co-host Jordan Jackson on Jordan23 ATL. Please make sure you do that. And again, give me a shout on IMTNWorldwideImages.com if you have any photographic needs. As you can kind of see, my backdrop is in the back there. Also, IMTN Worldwide Images 1 on Instagram. Last but not least, make sure that you do take the time and see if you can hit up my man at, and I just lost it again. I always lose it. There it is. My man Dennis at Southern Classic Transportation. If you're going to go to New Orleans for the Falcons game, you need to call them. You need to go to Miami for a nice little trip, and you want a nice, comfortable ride. You don't want groom transportation. You don't want to take a flight. You just want to drive. 404-291-0150. There are our sponsors. Make sure you hit them up. Let them know Around the ATL sent you. That being said, we're going to get ready to get out of here. John, again, thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate the support over the years, especially and everything. And definitely I'll be trying to come on to the show whenever you have your next one as well, okay?
All right. Like I said, it's going to be tomorrow night, and tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. And I wanted to shout out to Jordan. Hey, man, hang in. Everything's going to get better. Hang in, and you have my prayers, wishes, and best thoughts for the speedy recovery of your mom.
Appreciate that. I know he'll appreciate that as well. All right, guys, until next time, y'all make sure y'all watch Around the ATL Side Notes on IMTN Worldwide Radio. Until next time, go Hawks. Peace.
Bye-bye.
We'll be right back.